I love that song too. I think a lot of people do. It's like a little bit of a pick me up, eh, Sharon? Anyways, hey you guys, and welcome to the live. Charmaine and Ivy are with us tonight as well. And
Hello.
Aspect, he's waiting to be the last person to show his face there, I think. Aren't you? Aren't you precious?
I'm not.
He has to make an entrance.
Hey Travis, I see Travis there. Run, run, run. I think he got away on there. Anyways, welcome to the live, you guys. Obviously in front of you, your face here is Mitch Westerman. I wanted you guys to show you the happy moment when he was at whatever game it was with Andy. We'll just call him Andy now. I think we're close enough to Andy to call him Andy Baldwin, and a couple of other colleagues there or friends, whatever. Again, remember you guys, he used to work at that office, but he never did get to be an attorney, did he? Because he didn't.
He was a law clerk,
Yeah.
and then he was the operations manager.
Because he didn't. Isn't it because he didn't fail, or because he failed his bar exam or something?
Right.
Yeah.
So he graduated law school, but he didn't pass the bar, I guess, right?
I cannot imagine going through all that and then not passing the bar and just quitting.
Yeah,
Right.
right. Maybe it depends how many times he failed, like maybe 3 or 4. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Either or. That's who Mitch Westerman. But I just wanted to give you guys that feel of what it's like to be happy. And but
Right.
I mean, you guys can go pull up his file on Docs Pop anyway if you want to. He has a past history there, but anyways, it doesn't look so happy. It looks like from but that's his picture that they posted all over. But anyways, you know what? Whatever. Shame on you, Mitch Westerman. Shame on you, right, JLR? Shame on you, Mitch Westerman.
Yeah.
He was working. Oh yeah, and happy Thanksgiving to the people that are. I know it's not 3 hours, but in what a couple hours there it will be 12 o'clock. So happy Thanksgiving to you guys tomorrow, and I'll do a live. I'm not sure when I'm going to do it, but just for all you lonely people in the world, I don't feel like I should sing that. Might scare some of you away on there, but yeah, happy Thanksgiving. Okay, so let me start with you. Let's see, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Ivy, what are you doing for Thanksgiving tomorrow?
I'm not doing anything tomorrow. I'm going to go to my dad's on Friday, and I think that's all we're doing. My mom is in Paris, so we're not doing anything with her.
Oh,
Indiana. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Except be jealous. But
I'm so jealous. We already celebrated ours, and Charmaine, we've already celebrated ours. So I guess you're null and void on this question, to be honest with you. Unless you're doing something special, like hanging out with me, perhaps. Are you working tomorrow? Obviously, because it's not a holiday here or anything.
Yeah, I am working.
Yeah, actually, it's Hump Day today. It's Wednesday only, isn't it? Yeah, happy Hump Day, people too, as well. And Adam, what are you doing tomorrow?
Oh, you know me. I'm gonna slave over Thanksgiving. No, I'm gonna show up to my brother's tomorrow evening, and that's it.
Yeah, right, Travis. Hilarious.
He was ethics compliant. He was an ethics compliance officer for a medical group.
Yeah, that was kind of ironic. Yeah. And I got, you know what? I want to tell you guys, it was the first time, and I know this doesn't, overrule like the true crime thing, but for the first time, I had chips from an air fryer. My husband put in some chips, like potatoes turned into chips, and I want to tell you, wasn't impressed with those chips. I could have put those in the oven and been done faster, to be honest with you. So I just want to say that's the first time. So I'm waiting to check on different things first before I judge that air fryer too much. But all I can say is the French fries that came out from scratch.
From scratch?
Potatoes.
What you need to do is go buy yourself a bag of frozen shoestring potatoes, put them in your air fryer, salt them a little bit, 5 minutes, McDonald's fries at home. I'm telling you.
You know what? That's what I said to my husband. I said, next time we have to buy the bagged ones, which is the shoestrings, and test those out. Because what I was expecting was these fluffy fries, okay? Not knocking the ninja thing whatsoever, or nothing yet. But that first batch, I mean, I could put those in the oven and probably tasted more crispier, to be honest with you. So I don't know. It was our first time. So it could be us. It could be the users of it. Trail again. Hello, Johnny.
Things can always be a little awkward your first time.
They can't
Usually
be.
are.
Yeah. So I'm not going to put it down quite yet. Just saying.
I feel like you have to tweak the, like, even though temperature should be the same across the board, each air fryer, the temperature like requires a different temperature just a little bit. You have to like tweak that in the
Right.
time.
You know what?
Kinda like
Again, we're kind of newbies to the whole thing. All I know is that thank you, Mama in England, Mama Bear, for sending that to us. Yeah, and so thank you very much. And like I said, I'm looking forward to having the different things. It might propel me to actually want to be a decent wife a little and cook, you know. Gordon Ramsay's inspired me again lately a little bit, but lately I've been doing too many lives, and the husband was like, I said, call me when it's time to peel the potatoes. And then next thing I know, he had done it, and I heard this noise, which sounded like a, air conditioner going off. And I was like, oh, it's the air fryer going off. So her husband's the actual first one to really test it, to be honest with you. I'm not the best housewife, okay? I'm a good wife. I am not the best housewife. No, my mom overkilled us on our cleaning when we were younger. We had to iron our clothes. Everything had to be spotless all the time. I rebelled ever since then. And I'm just going to say that. Hey, Alicia, how are you? And that, okay. So in this live, it's kind of one of those ones that, yeah, we're on here and everything like that. Good to see you guys, by the way. And you guys are in here. Kind of, you know what? It's just, again, a YOLO live. Show you a couple of things. Other than that, if you guys have anything you want to ask, feel free to. We're just going to kind of talk about, well, I think most of you guys by now know exactly what happened here. Mr. Photo Leak was obviously got arrested today. Actually, Adam, you go ahead and talk. I'll sit here and listen for a minute. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, you pretty much said it. He got arrested today.
Tell me about your BFF over here.
Oh my!
Mitch Westerman.
I don't know Mitch Westerman. But yeah, I mean, he was, he worked for Andrew Baldwin from I think 2015 until 2019. I think he started off as a law clerk. The last 2 years he worked there, he was his operations manager, I think was his title. And apparently they were, good friends. The picture Sonny has on the left of the screen there is Mitch Westerman in happier days. When he was actually, if you weren't zoomed in on just him, you would see in that picture Andy Baldwin sitting 2 people away from him at a sporting event. So they remained close friends. However, he got access to an area of Baldwin's office, and he was able to take pictures of photos of the bodies and possibly other information that was from the discovery of the case. And he then took a picture of it with his cell phone and sent it to Robert Fortson.
Yeah. Adam, do you think you can refer Steffa to our other live when we did right from the start the whole PCA? We're not going to go over the PCA on this live. To be honest, yeah. It's pretty basic.
Steffa, we did about a 45-minute live earlier today where we read through the whole PCA.
Can you just refresh our memory what he was charged with and what it means, Adam, or Aspen?
He was charged with conversion, and Sunny actually has Sunny. I know that she can read it verbatim because she has it pulled up. I think. What conversion?
The what? The what? What do I have pulled up?
What the charge of conversion actually means.
Oh,
you just said on the phone.
Well, this is where it was a little confusing. I think I did have it pulled up, and now I don't.
I have like a basic understanding of it. I just won't be word for word.
Thank you.
It falls under theft, but when you steal something, you take that item and you keep it. Conversion is when you either take something or you have like unauthorized control over it for a temporary amount of time. So that could also be something like you go and you get an Airbnb, but then you refuse to pay for it. So but you stayed there. So you're not taking it and keeping it. You are using it without authorization,
Right.
and then giving it back, quote unquote. So
Right.
it's like a lesser theft charge.
Yeah, it differs from theft because there's no element of intending to deprive the other person of the value or use of the property.
So basically, if they would have like taken the hard copy, that would have been theft.
Right. That would have been theft. Someone told me earlier today that charge a lot of times it will be seen with writing a bad check, which I'm not quite sure the connection, but that's what.
Okay, I get it. So writing a bad check, that would be you're taking an item and not paying for it.
But someone else, yeah.
You would think that'd be theft, though. I don't know.
Well, the thing is, like, I don't know, this was just prior to the live because Travis had said something like, I don't think it's conversion. I don't know that Indiana has conversion, but
they do. That's what he was charged with.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, I don't know enough to speak on it for myself besides what, like you guys are saying and by what the papers say. It was just kind of a conversation that we were just having quickly prior to the live here. Yeah, you know, unless you guys.
Oh, sorry, Sonny.
No. Go ahead.
I was just saying it is a misdemeanor charge. So, I mean, it's not like he's going to go sit in prison or something.
Yeah, it's a misdemeanor A, and I was just looking that up. I had it up earlier. It says
misdemeanor A, yeah.
It says a person who commits a Class A misdemeanor shall be imprisoned for a fixed term of not more than 1 year. In addition, he may be fined not more than $5,000. But you read that a lot, and usually nobody ends up with what it actually says. It might be like a suspended, or I don't know, it might be dropped altogether. Or dismissed, not dropped.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But I think the act that they took and the fact that they are holding someone accountable for this is important.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I don't think this guy has a criminal record or anything, so I doubt he's really going to suffer horrible consequences from it. Might hurt him professionally as a maybe
as a non-lawyer.
Yeah, I didn't overly look at those other 6 things that were on his file.
Or as an ethics compliance officer.
I have a side story. One of my professors for my master's program, I probably have told you guys this already. So he taught 2 courses. He taught marriage counseling, so like marriage or family systems and things like that. And then he also taught ethics. Those were his 2 areas. He worked with another professor in the same program, cheated on her with a student.
No.
With like, what 2 areas does that have to do with? Ethics and marriage.
He's an expert in both.
Right.
Yeah, he was very good at dealing with it. They got
Brian
married,
Kruger going, being a criminologist.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is just basically simple, really. Again, it's on the other thing.
Hey, Deb.
After you guys, maybe it was like during when you were doing the live, I searched my case, and just in the last 3 days, the 2 prosecutors or the 2 attorneys listed under the state for Westerman's, in the last 3 days, they together had like 7 or 8 different conversion charges on different people. So it's not like I thought it would be a little more rare.
I'm not going to agree with that myself, to be honest, Anne, about the so Anne says, I don't know. I find it hard to believe the guy just took pictures to give it to YouTubers. I imagine it would have been an incentive to sell some copies on the dark web. But that's just my speculation. I hope I'm wrong. That's not my way of thinking. Again, what we just know is that Westerman took photos of them. Probably took more than just photos, to be honest, but whatever. Handed them over to Forston, and whoever Forston and Mark Roberts dispersed them to, who knows where that trail went off. But someone said, or is some YouTube creators going to get arrested? No, they didn't do anything wrong or anything like that. No, it's the person, Mitch Westerman, and as you can see, a Class A misdemeanor for that.
Right.
I don't believe that there was an intent myself to sell them as much as it was to push the defense's, runes and show pictures of the F tree. That's my personal thoughts, but hey, who knows? Who knows dirty deeds,
I'm not sure that they are, I don't know the word. Gruesome always comes to mind. I'm not sure if that's the correct word, but I'm not sure if they are gruesome enough for anybody to want to pay for them on the dark web in the first place. There's way worse pictures you can get on regular internet.
Oh yeah.
And I tend to think that, here's how I think it happened. I think that Westerman was friends with Fortson already, and he was like, oh, I'm going to show this to Fortson because, like he's following the case maybe. He sends them to them so they can chat about it. And then Fortson shares it unbeknownst to Westerman. And then Mark and Fortson are the ones that leaked it like to the public. Is what I think happened.
Right. I mean, we don't know the full story for sure, but that's really been how it's been said, from, well, obviously the paperwork from Baldwin's firm there talking about the leak and whatever. But I mean, how it's always been said since it came about was Mitch, handed them over to Boston.
Well, I don't think Mitch, I guess that's the part, is I don't think Mitch was trying to get them into the public. I don't think that was his goal at all. Or I think some people are thinking that was like his goal.
I do.
See, I don't. But I could be, I'm not stuck to that theory at all.
I mean, it could be either way, really. Let me see. Adam, do you think that he was that the reason why he was taking those, or do you think it was forced in and that wanted to get it out to the public?
I can't speak to
I
that
mean, it's
because
a 50-50, really.
Because I'm like, I have I've seen evidence to point towards why Fortson disseminated them to other people. I've not seen any evidence as to the intent of Westerman or why he chose to do it. So I really don't know.
I mean,
I know that he did it. I don't know why he wanted them out there, or if he wanted them out there. I mean, we know he shared them with Fortson, but as to why, I don't know.
Well, right. I mean, it makes because, and when the F tree, so when Barbara McDonald did the F tree and showed the depiction of, the girls with sticks in a sense, but was using the black whatever things and then the F tree, that's kind of what propelled to push those pictures out, really. It's because no, that's not what they look like. No, here's what they look like.
Yeah, that's absolutely why Fortson urged Mark to release the F tree picture. As to why as to why Fortson sent the crime scene pictures to people, I don't know.
I think he just got really wrapped up in the case. You know how you just get too into it sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I have 800 Reddit posts of his.
Yeah.
Of whose?
Fortson.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen 800. I've seen about 5, 6, maybe. I mean, if you want to send them to me in an audio tape, that would be fine. Good.
Audio tape, yeah. I'll just read them all for you, Sonny.
For lawyers at State by State in Texas, you can sleep with a current client. Oh, it just changed. I read it because it's just a major bad idea. I told lawyers I would fire them on the spot if. Oh, Travis, your thing if. And then, and I'm sure it really ends up. What was his goal? I think that the goal, I feel like the end goal was they wanted to present I think that they thought that they were pushing, that they were being helpful by pushing those photos to the public to be no, that's not what the F tree looks like on McDonald's. this is what the true F tree looks like. Oh, by the way, there's some pictures to go with that. So,
I'm going to maintain,
the
you know,
sticks.
I think that his excessive, I think that Westerman had more access to those photos and to the discovery than we even read in this affidavit.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you about that.
But where's Charmaine go?
Charmaine.
Yeah. Oh, hey, we look fun. Yeah, Charmaine, don't do that to us again. See my 5 chins and everything like that up close.
Do you think he was working under the table? Is that what you're saying?
No, I've maintained all along. I believe he was brought in an unofficial capacity
to work on
to help prepare the memorandum, and that's why he had access to the information and the discovery to begin with.
Well, Forston was
he
too.
He worked. Yeah, I mean, and Westerman worked for Baldwin for many years, so he was someone that Baldwin trusted. It wouldn't be outside the realm of possibility at all to assume that Baldwin. That 136-page document, whatever people think of it, that required a lot of time and work to prepare that. And I was told that that Westerman came and even stayed in Franklin, where Baldwin's office is, to help prepare that, to help research and prepare that document. And that's why he had access to the photos and the discovery. And the problem with that is, I don't think he signed any sort of form, which means he shouldn't have had access to any of that.
Why didn't they just hire him like normal? Right. That's what I don't understand.
I mean,
and I think that that in that instance, I think it could have even changed the charge to theft, because he would have been an employee of the business, and when you steal from work, it's theft.
Like I said, you got the puppies up there. And like I said, there's the conversation where Forston says he's in Franklin, and that they wanted to punch holes. Look for holes, I guess, in that whole Odinism theory thing. Right. So,
you want to know something funny? When I first read that, I feel so dumb saying this out loud. When I first read that he was there to punch holes, I pictured him literally with a hole puncher.
That's funny.
Like with his piles of paper, punching holes.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That is funny.
And Rob Lee, it would mean that Baldwin lied to the court when he claimed that Mitch just walked in.
It's just that there's no proof of it.
What?
I will say I do picture them having like a war room where things don't get put up, where they just are out.
Oh,
yeah,
sure.
I can picture it too. I'm just having a hard time picturing that Baldwin didn't know. But
I think he had access to it all the time, and I think he was there all the time. So
that's the thing. It was when he said he walked into a conference room because he stopped by the office. Well, he was probably stopping by to help prepare for that memorandum, and he probably had been repeatedly that month.
Well, the dates and the thing.
Yeah. Oh, there she is. Okay.
Yeah. What were those dates? Like, I can't remember now.
August
5th to November 16th. It's right here, actually. Let me find it.
That's not a one-time thing.
It was like about a month or so, I think.
So, I mean, it tracks with what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? It's in here somewhere, I believe,
and
right?
I don't want to make like other accusations on them. Not that this would even necessarily be like illegal or a problem, but especially with the county paying them, like it wouldn't be weird for you to get some friends that you trust and who have already worked for you in on some of that Carroll County money too, to pay them to do stuff.
Right.
So I just don't understand why they didn't just hire them.
Exactly. That would have made a big difference. I mean, still wouldn't have made it okay that he leaked anything, but
where is it? Oh, I think this thing's too big. Hold on.
I think it was in the beginning.
I was just gonna say, where's the? Oh, here it is. Right. Oh, I got it too big or something. Okay. How do I get rid of you again? Oh, how do I get rid of you? I always forget with this stupid thing how I get rid of it. This one? Nope. Which one do I hit again? This one? Nope. Come on. There's got to be a button here. Go away. I always do this to myself. Is it you? Nope. Oh, somehow I got rid of it. Okay. So Andrew Baldwin on October 12th concerning the evidence. Oh, there it is. October. law enforcement was advised that on or about October 5th that the evidence from the, that's when they were advised.
Mhm.
What's the actual date? The August date?
Where's it at? It should be here somewhere.
It's in one of this. I thought it was in here though.
It is, I think.
Am I just passing by it or something? Where the frick is it? That's why I was trying to. Oh, come on, I thought it was in the probable cause.
That's weird. I swear I commented on it during the live stream.
No, we saw it. It literally said, August 5th. Yeah,
Oh, here it is. October 9th. Never mind. That's not it either.
I know. You guys, come on. Law enforcement was
Between-
advised. We know that they were
It says,
advised.
it says it's on page
What page?
3. It says
Oh,
between August 1st, 2023 and October 5th, 2023
August. Okay.
in
That's
Johnson
what it-
County, state of Indiana,
Whoa.
Mitchell Thomas Westerman did knowingly or intentionally exert unauthorized control over the property of Andrew Baldwin.
I was off of my dates. I'll tell you
That's
that.
the charging paper.
Knowingly or intentionally exert unauthorized control. Yeah, on there. Oh, how gullible. Sorry. Let's see here. Anyways, anybody else have anything to say about Westerman or the paper?
I do actually.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to know what you guys think about let's say that it wasn't just one time, but he did get it from the table. Let's say that's what the claim is. Do you think that the pictures of the pictures match that? Like, could the pictures on the table have been printouts of the screen and that's why there's a cursor? Or like, and I've heard that like one picture is like looks different, like more clear.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was on a different page, but you're talking about the hand cursor that's on one of the pictures?
Yeah, the little cursor. And is, from what I've heard, like one picture's like clearer, like the quality is better, and the other ones look like a screen, like you took a picture of a screen, kind of.
Oh.
Well, I think that the pictures that finally got sent out, like got sent all the way out to the public, I believe that that Fortson or Cohen, one of the two, then went and took pictures of a laptop. So I don't think I think that cursor got added in on the second, because they were like pictures of pictures of pictures of pictures. Because I know Fortson and Cohen had a conversation about how to take the pictures or whatever.
Okay, that makes sense.
I don't know that 100%. I'm just going off of what I saw.
It makes sense to me.
Yeah. I didn't put like really deep thoughts.
Mark Cohen is Cohen. Sorry.
No, that's fine. No, I was just saying that I didn't put too much deep thought into it. Pictures are out there; they're out there, and it was known that Mitch Westerman, whatever. So I think at the start it was said well, somebody got to know whose hand cursor that is. But again, there's a few ways that could have whose cursor that could have been, but it wasn't anything I overly cared about really on there. It was just the fact of just understanding, I think, the leak and stuff like that. Not that I even still overly care about that, because what's done is done. There's no changing that fact. It's just really about the fact that it was would they like that if they put their children out there to the world, to people and stuff like that. But that shit happens all the time. So,
and honestly,
Hey,
what Craig had to say today on his live, what is that, art of deduction or whatever?
Yeah, art of deduction.
He was reading. That puts a whole new spin. Not spin is the wrong word, but you know what I mean. It lets us see things from a different perspective. Why why specifically Becky has such a hard time with these photos being out. So that's like for me, I mean, I felt bad anyways, but
You talking about Becky?
yeah. Becky. Was my mic not working?
It's a little bit choppy, but
Is it my mic or is it my computer?
nah, it's always usually a little choppy, but not, it's not horrible. Yeah.
It's my podcast equipment. It's trash.
On there, but yeah. Um,
That was the thing about what Becky said was extremely sad. I do, however, it still bothers me when people act like they're entitled to know who's seen the pictures, and if you don't want to tell them, that they're gonna like I hate using the word bully, but bully you into
yeah.
telling them something. That's annoys me
Wait,
a
who said
lot.
that?
Who said what?
Who said that, Ivy?
I said that? Who said
No,
what?
who said that?
No, that's just an opinion, Aspen.
It's my
Oh,
opinion.
okay. I thought you were saying someone said that.
No, that I'm annoyed and frustrated that certain people seem to feel entitled to knowing who has seen the pictures, and if you have seen the pictures, who sent those to you, have you sent them to anybody? And at this point, like, it's not really any of their business, but then they try to like bully you into
People
saying,
make things their business, and they should really, like, to be honest with you. I say worry about yourselves. Like, when it comes to that shit, worry about what you do. Don't worry about what other people do. It's none of your business. Go create your own channel if people care so much about whatever. But people keep wanting to insert themselves, tell you how to run the channel, tell you what you should do in this, do. And those are just the busybodies that, probably the ones that usually are in the Facebook groups that have no life, that become the little venomous things of the Delphi groups and stuff like that. Honestly, it's amazing. It never ceases to amaze me just how overboard people go with things. Like, I'm not talking about everybody, I'm just talking about in general. There's the freaking Looney Tune crazies that are out there with Delphi. I'm glad me and Adam pulled back from Delphi, because it just gets stupid. It gets stupid, the drama of it, the people that want to cause drama and shit like that. Like, get a fucking life, seriously. Like, worry about your own damn shit, but worrying about what other people do. And it is none of their business. Like I said, I don't walk into somebody else's life, tell them how to lead it. Don't ever come over here and tell us how to lead our lives and whatever. I'm just talking about in general, guys. It's nobody's business, type of thing. That, I said that in a nice way, right? Yeah.
nice
Okay.
enough.
Absolutely.
I'd be nicer if I had eggnog, to be honest with you.
I was just looking at that in the
I know.
chat.
I know. I just look down now and I'm like, eggnog? Shit. Anyways, you guys, the picture that's in front of you is obviously of the crime scene there. Charmaine, you can stop that. It's okay, but okay, you know what? We're going to take a moment. And then Deb's right behind her. And bet you Deb didn't even know, right? She was like, I'm going to beat Charmaine. And then, oh, no, sorry, Deb. Number 2, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you so much, Deb. We're going to like her yellow one first, all right? Happy Thanksgiving. But let me go back to this because music's going to go off here in a second. Let's
Thank you, Deb.
Yeah, and Charmaine, she donated $5 over there in to Frank's. Unstoppable. Powerpuff Chicks, right, guys? Including you, Adam. I'll let you be a Powerpuff Chick with us. Okay, so let me just quickly. Well, can you? No, you guys probably can't see it in live stream. So brown Skittle. Oh, there's a brown Skittle, huh? Oh, brown Skittle. And Susan Silverstein, I think Silver, whatever. Sorry if I butchered that. Cheryl, Carol, Jill. Missing and unsolved crime. Kelly Olivia Duckin. Hey, Duckin. Missy RN, Susie Q, and Rob Lee. You guys all got memberships from Charmaine. So happy Thanksgiving memberships to those people that got a membership. I got one. Me and Charmaine both got one in Frank's Art of Deductions channel today. Right up on there. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to mute myself though because the music's going to go off like 8 more times. And so go ahead and just take over, you guys. Thank you, Charmaine and Deb. Love you.
You're welcome, and I apologize.
Never apologize.
What are we taking over for?
Yeah, we weren't really on a topic other than crime scene photos being released and people minding their own business, and it is what it is.
I always think it's so pretty out there. That's not even like a great picture, but it looks like it's just like amazing out there. I'm a lover of trees and greenery, so I'm a little biased, but
I agree. It's gorgeous. It reminds me of where I live, actually. It's very, very similar to where I live.
where I live now is ugly. It's right on the line of ugly. But when I go back home, it's nice.
I'll just play that for a minute.
It looks so much smaller from that angle. The taped area.
And some of those past videos that Frank was playing today, Barbara McDonald walking down into the crime scene area.
Oh, yeah.
Get a real good feel of actually how steep it is to get down there, and like the incline he would have had to climb to get out of there. Anyway, you forget a lot of that stuff, right? Like some of that stuff, I haven't watched it in months, if not years, and it's kind of too bad that the case has taken this kind of a turn, because those videos really kind of took me back, and I started remembering what it was like back then before all of this nonsense was going on, and everybody was, there was infighting, whatever, but everybody was focused on identifying BG and getting the guy, and now it's just kind of all gone for crap.
I was kind of confused. Sorry, I thought you were done. My bad.
I am. I'm just babbling. Go ahead.
You said how steep things are. I was kind of confused when it was Julie Melvin. I think it was when she was on Criminalities, but don't hold me to that. And she was talking about the crime scene area and just not just the crime scene, but the general area around it. And she said it wasn't as bad as people tried to make it out to be. But everybody I've talked to besides her who like have made a video out there, they always say that like it's steep. Like I feel like Hoosier Cold Cases has some of the best boots on the ground video that really show how steep some of the hills are. And then even when Greeno's gone out there, and
I was just mentioning that.
Smokes, but besides that, he seems in like decent shape. He's like huffing and puffing up those hills and stuff. So I don't know. I was confused about her saying that it wasn't that treacherous. Treacherous isn't the word, but you know what I mean.
Maybe it depends on the exact spot that you go down or go back up, whatever. But watching Barbara McDonald do it, she was going down an incline, watching Greeno try to run up that path or that creek or whatever. He was going uphill, and then even Steve from True Crime Web, I don't think he got really great video from down in there, but the way he described it, he said, like the helicopter footage, not the videos, like it doesn't do it justice when you're out there, just how isolating it is and how much of a bowl you're in, right? And no amount of video or anything can do it justice. So, and I believe that, I get that. But did you notice though, when Barbara McDonald was going down and she grabbed that one tree for leverage and the tree actually fell down? Did you?
No, I wasn't watching.
I didn't catch that the first 25 times that I'd watched that. I saw it today, and I was like,
tree?
Yeah, like the whole tree. And it didn't even seem like she put that much weight on it. But yeah, it was in Down the Hill HLN special. He was playing pieces of that.
One thing that I would like to go back and look in those is, let's see, where was it? It was on Art of Deduction's channel. with Norick when I think that's how you pronounce it, when I was on talking to them. He said that there was an invoice, and maybe I've talked about it on here already. He said there was an invoice of where they had, I guess the county or whoever had paid people to come and remove trees from that area. I don't notice any trees or anything that are gone in any of those videos. Do you think you would see them? Or especially like the videos from right after, like there's some news coverage from like the day after, 2 days after. I was trying to like really look at those trees, but they're hard to see.
I think it's safe to say, because they didn't even collect the sticks that were found on the girls, I don't think they would have taken trees with them. They didn't
He
even
said
take
like any tree with more than 3 inches in diameter. Am I echoing?
No, somebody's echoing really bad for a second. It's coming off like, or it's like a too close to the mic thing. I don't know.
It's me.
I don't hear an echo as much as it's more like the
Yeah.
microphone to mouth thing. And just quickly, I didn't know these pictures of Abby and Libby are from Miracle for Missing. She has beautiful work of Idaho 4 and Abby and Libby, and asked her if I could use her pictures in a video for Idaho 4, and then obviously these ones. So that's why I just want to show. I should really put them both side by side. I'd have to go find exactly where these pictures were in my files, but I have them in here. But anyways, so they're beautiful. It's beautiful work. I just want to say that absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, like these are the girls that we're fighting for. So the other stuff, I mean, finding the person responsible, of course, and making sure that they get, hopefully have enough evidence. But at the end of the day, this is why we're here, right? It's always first and foremost for the girls, regardless. And they're beautiful pictures. But anyway, go ahead. My bad. Oh, okay. And then Adam's sending me something. So go ahead and finish what you were saying. Sorry to interrupt there.
I think I was just rambling about the tree and looking at the tree, like in the footage afterwards, and supposedly them removing trees.
Just give me 2 secs while I get what Adam just sent me. Okay, 1 sec.
They really did pick out some good pictures of them. Those are all very good pictures.
And it's funny, it's like I feel it's always for some reason. I mean, we of course didn't know these girls, but I'm always surprised when I see a picture that I haven't seen before. And like occasionally when it'll pop up that I'm like, oh, and usually Becky will share something, of course,
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's just so heartbreaking to think about what Becky, Anna, Carrie, all of the families must be going through still.
Is there 5, Adam? 5?
Yeah. So what we have up on the screen right now is I've had these for a while, but I said I wouldn't share them, but I got permission to share them, just to give a little context as to how the discussion went down. As far as most of this will pertain to the F tree picture, but just kind of how the dialogue was happening between Robert Fortson and Mark Cohen, in regards to releasing the F tree picture. Mark has maintained that he did not email, that he was not responsible for the email that went out to YouTubers. I know there's a line in the affidavit where it says that he disseminated it to YouTubers and podcasters. He thinks that they're referring to the F tree picture when they say that, because he maintains that he gave over all of the screenshots and evidence to law enforcement, and it showed that he did not personally email those. So I don't know, but and I've never talked to Mark. We have a mutual friend. Like I said, I've had these for a while, but they said that I could show them, just because they give a little context as to how the discussion went for releasing the F tree picture, and in turn probably some of the other crime scene stuff. So
Okay.
This first one is a message from Robert Fortson, and it says, I thought about a way I could show you the crime scene without sending the pictures. Maybe photograph something with the pics on my phone in the photo.
Am I the only one having trouble like understanding what that means?
Oh,
No,
this,
it's very kind of confusing. Does he mean take a picture with my phone in it, and my phone will have those pictures on it?
Or I read it as take a picture of a portion of one of the pictures, like on a computer screen, so that it's a picture of a picture of a picture kind of thing. But
it says, "My family, you're weird as fuck." Bye.
I noticed that too. I didn't want to say anything about it.
I was going to ask for Adam, like, what's that?
I didn't cut these pictures off, so this is just what I got.
But that whole scenario about how, like, maybe you're right, Aspen, but that shows a level of desperation to get the pictures to this person. Like,
Mm.
why?
Can we go to the next one?
Sure.
Okay. And I first and foremost want to say too, before you read the next one, regardless, Robert Forston, rest in peace. So sorry to the
Exactly.
family.
His family's gone through hell.
Yeah, we don't know his story, but regardless, he was a human being that sadly took his life, and very sad, very sad. But always. Sorry, Adam. 1 second. I was just trying to make it a little bit bigger for people. Go ahead.
And this one goes into a little bit as far as people that think that Fortson might have been, and Westerman might have been working behind the scenes for the prosecution. I mean, in this private conversation here, he says right there, this is Robert Forston in the white that says, "I don't know that I want to help them per se, meaning the defense. I just want a fair fight. I want Nick to stop with hiding shit."
That information should be out there. Like, this right here could stop a lot of crap right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I said until today I agreed not to share share this because it wasn't mine to share. So I appreciate the person that told me I could share this tonight. But then Mark says, exactly. I'm sorry, Sonny.
No, I just want to say, yeah, thank you, because a lot of people get lost in it, and it's like, so hopefully it brings a little bit of clarity, a little bit sometimes to just so that others can understand. So it's kind of like I don't know, just appreciate the person that said you could show them so that other people can get a little bit better understanding of what Robert Forston was saying.
Right.
Do you know if these are
And again,
consecutive, like one behind the other?
That's my understanding. But I don't have any way to back that up. Like I said, this is just what I had or what I was given. But I am told that this was, these were all like between the days of October 3rd, 4th, and Fortson, taking his own life. And I don't want anyone to say anything negatively about Fortson either, because he's not here to defend himself. He's not here. His family's gone through hell. And I'm in no way showing this to, discredit him or harm him.
What day Robert did that to himself? I'm wondering, because in that...
The 11th, I believe.
Because didn't Mitch go and tell Baldwin that he had taken pictures on the 9th? I think I read that somewhere today.
Well, I think once that they were publicly released, I think Mitch went and told. I think he knew he had to fess up, because Baldwin was going to figure out that they came from somewhere.
Yeah,
it was the 11th. Yeah, that he had unalived himself. But Fortson then said, "I want people to stop running their mouths about shit they don't know." And remember, this is and then he says, exactly.
That's Mark, right? Mark,
yeah.
right?
And he says, "Let's do this there." I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's do this then, I think.
Then. Let's do this then, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Fortson says, "Take a screenshot of it and send it back to me to look at."
I feel like that was definitely about the F tree, if I had to guess.
It is about the F tree.
Yeah, about Barbara coming
Wait,
and showing
so
that
was
and
that
him
all?
being like, no, that's not accurate. We're gonna
Sonny,
fix
was that all
this.
that was that all that
Oh,
was on that
sorry,
one?
I missed a part.
Yeah. And then Fortune said, should I simultaneously put it on Reddit? I don't think there's too much
So,
on there.
yeah, I don't think so. Way too much on there.
Wait, yeah.
Yeah, and then
And then on the
this.
next one, Mark says, LOL, definitely not you on Reddit. And then Fortune said, maybe you. And Mark says, I can. Fortune says, it'll get there, I'm sure. Mark says, no one is going to question where it came from. Fortune then says, protect me. Post the screenshot, not mine. Mark then says, no matter what, I will. Okay. What should the caption be? And then Robert Fortune says, go side by side with the Barber one. Make it a poll. Ask F, Rune, Spatter, or other. 4 options there. Tell them to list their other in the comments. I'd also let them argue over it to see if it's an actual F. And then Mark said, it's up. Fortune said, here we go. Mark says, well, they are all questioning source. People are too much. Fortune said that. Was that all of it, Sonny?
This one right here.
The last one? That was all of the last one?
Did I miss some? Again? Am I bad? Sorry. Oh, yeah,
LOL.
you're right.
And then Fortune says, some of those people just dismissing it without even looking are something.
Or, yeah, something. I'm not even sure what that says.
Wild, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, perhaps.
And then this one was, of course, after. And Fortune said, no. Gotcha. I won't. So clearly there's something missing in between here. But I don't have what it is. Fortune said, this little bit gave me too much of a bad feeling. I wanted to clear up the false info, and it did, but I felt horrible after. Mark said, really? I'm sorry, man. Then Fortune said, it's all good. We live with our choices. I wanted it out. The crazy thing, even the obvious, didn't convince people.
Yeah, because remember when it came out, it was like fake.
I didn't think it was real.
I'll never understand why people expect others just to take their word. Like, have you not been on the internet?
Right.
Right. Yeah, on there. So hopefully that gives a little bit of clarity.
Yeah. Like I said, people are going to take what they want of that. I just, I wanted to give a little context as to how that conversation went down to so that to be transparent.
This is really like big information, and I can't say it enough. I think that this is huge. As for myself, I did. It's going to just rumors, but there'll be people out there saying that this is fake. It's easy to fake a combo and take screenshots, but I'm just saying this information should clear up a lot of certain speculation.
And and that's true. It is. But if these came directly from one of the people that are in the conversation, I mean, and those conversations were turned over to law enforcement, that could easily be disputed if it came down to it.
Yeah.
So this person had no reason to lie to me about it, and like I said, I've had these for a long time.
No, I'm not saying it. I'm just saying there's going to be, there's always a group that'll dismiss anything, but this to me is huge information that you're sharing tonight. Huge.
Well, to the common sense people, it is. To the people that are going to twist it around or say fake, whatever, those nut jobs can, do whatever they want, to be honest with you. Again, it brought clarity for the F tree, at least. I mean, to that. Right. So instead of perhaps all that guesswork and so thank you for that.
I have something to say about Fortune real quick,
David,
if you don't mind.
No, go ahead.
And I hope you can't. My boyfriend has a TV on loud in there.
Can't hear it.
Okay. Now what was I going to say? Oh, so this is just my own personal opinion and how I kind of look at things, but I think one of the most important things in people's actions, in my opinion, is their intention. So if somebody does something that causes harm, but they had good intention, in my book, that's better than something causing good things to happen, but with bad intention behind it.
Right.
And I feel like even though I totally disagree with leaking these photos, I think in his mind, he thought he was helping.
Yes. Absolutely. That's why I
And it
said
wasn't to manipulate anybody, it was to get the truth out, quote unquote.
yeah. And I mean, he says in this too, like he felt bad after it was done. But you can see, like, I don't feel like the intentions like were bad. That it was to try to, put it out there to show, but I don't, like, it wasn't done to be venomous in a sense. It was just trying to show some like of the truth. But the thing is that of course it went about it the wrong way. And like I said, sadly, the guy's no longer here on that. And
It does
that's
make me
sad.
question the crime scene photos a little more though, like why, if that hadn't have already happened, I would have guessed that he would choose not to do that after the F tree, putting the F tree out and feeling bad and seeing that it didn't really change anything.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know what happened there.
Well, it's all good. We live with our choices. I wanted it out. The crazy thing, even obvious, didn't convince the people. Yeah. Like I said, when that came out, freaking, we had it on the live, and I was like, Adam was like, yeah, fake. And I'm just like, yeah, okay. Everyone's saying it's fake, must be fake. Okay. And the next thing, I was looking at the trees and I was going, well, wait, it's not actually so far off of that tree of the other picture that Adam had gave off. But then I really kind of forgot about it, to be honest with you, until all of a sudden it was like, wait, it is real? What?
No, I was saying it was fake down to the last line because I
I
couldn't.
thought it was fake.
Yeah, I think me and you were talking about. I just remember I was looking at like the bark on the
bark,
tree.
none of the barks matched.
You know,
I
it is
still don't
just
think they
mind.
do.
Yeah, but again, we can't honestly just stop here because this leaks and that started. This is just one of those ones like, like morally, would you really want to put out the pictures of the actual girls? And well, share them around. I have not personally, I don't think anyone else has. I've not personally seen them on the internet. I hope that people, I hope that there's no evil people out there that are going to sit there and put them on the internet, like out to the public. But it's the fact of there's leaks and there's having information and stuff. And then there's putting out the girls, And like I said, for the families of, Becky and Kelsey and Mike and Anna and Carrie and stuff, you know, that's the hard part there because I don't know what they have seen with autopsy or any crime scene photos or anything or the full video of the BG thing, and stuff like that. So I think this was like just definitely crossing a different boundary of leaks, even though a leak is a leak. But this is the girls,
And I think the little drawings that like Snay and Gray did are about as like close to that line as we want to get. Painting them where it looks like actual girls is not necessary in crossing the line, in my opinion.
So Travis says that this criminal case against Westerman opens up the availability for all leaks to be investigated, including law enforcement clerks. Okay, is that what you were saying to me before in my message, Travis? I was trying to make sure I understood that. Going back all the way to when photos taken, investigation by defense counsel through depositions and evidentiary hearing. Go ahead, Charmaine.
No, I was just going to ask you to show the next comment that he made there about the investigation and depositions.
Oh, okay. On there.
Very interesting.
This case just saddens my heart so badly.
It takes a lot out of you if you actually care.
Well, I was going to say, there's some people that truly just simply care about Abby and Libby and justice. And then there's others that say that they care, but do they really? You know what I mean? The true intentions of what their channel's about and stuff like that. These are my own personal opinions. I just don't respect anyone that puts like a view, like a clickbait or views, stuff like that, or blames the family as if they were part of it, stuff like that. And that garbage, it's like buying the Star, the National Enquirer. People just believe a lot of that shit. And then they just actually make it worse. Instead of propagating the truth and using more factual information. And then, of course, you have your speculation, as like, in my opinion, but then there's just evil that lurks in Delphi case. And it's just really sad because it really is about two girls that lost their lives. I don't know.
That's exactly the problem. They're not saying, in my opinion. That's one thing, and that to me is where the line is. When they put out their videos and they talk and whatever, they're stating things as fact. And the fact is that people that follow these channels believe it. And now they've got an entire movement going on based on nothing but rumors. You know what I mean? Like, it's really disheartening that so many people are so gullible. And then there's so many people that have huge platforms that just, like, I will never, and I don't care, I will never ever get past those color drawings of the girls. There was no need for that to happen, and it was so disrespectful and too much time on our hands.
I guess it just really depends on people's their I mean, whatever. I can't sit here and ever try to explain people. There's good people, there's evil people, and there's people that shouldn't even be walking this planet whatsoever. But
like, the girls were found in the creek, and then blaming the family and all these conspiracies and spinning things so it looks like it's possible, but it's not. But you're still putting that out there to your 100,000 followers. It's deplorable. It's deplorable. It's terrible.
Travis had said here the photos taken by Westerman will be in his trial as exhibits, depending on what is done on protective order at Westerman trial. They will be in every newspaper or description. And then, I don't know how many people are going to answer that one. And to be honest with you, some might. And this is most likely to be before the Richard Allen criminal trial.
I don't think it'll go to trial, do you? I think he'll take a plea, maybe. Not Allen.
I don't know.
Westerman.
Or Westerman. I don't know, because the consequence for that. It's not like it's just a misdemeanor. So
Yeah.
But who knows?
And if he's taking accountability, like Adam said, it's just a misdemeanor. If he's actually taking accountability, then he'll probably plead out for sure.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. He already admitted to it, so I don't really know what there would be to argue.
Yeah, he has where he wrote it out and under oath already.
Yeah. I'll be right back.
Also, one thing about the family, people talking about the family, is one thing I wish people would do in any case, not just this case, is think about, yes, there's a possibility that families are involved, and the younger a kid is, the higher the chance that a family or somebody close to them is involved. And then as kids hit basically puberty, depending, that's later for boys than it is for girls, that's when it starts turning to being more likely to be a stranger, because unfortunately then they start looking more like adults. But even if there's a chance that it could be family, you have to balance that out with, if it wasn't the family, what damage am I going to do to them on top of the victims that they already are? And usually that outweighs the small chance that they are guilty, if that makes any sense. So you have to kind of like weigh those between each other, and usually it weighs out that you should not accuse families.
And I think most normal, common sense thinking people that have empathy and compassion would agree with you, but YouTube is proof that not everybody thinks that way. It's so unfortunate. And they've got the biggest platforms. They've got the most followers, and it's very disheartening about the human condition.
It is. And Doug Carter, what did he say in that remember the year one thing when he's like, what was he saying about the world? Because that's how I always think about it.
There's definitely evil in the world.
Yeah, but he said it a certain way, and basically like it's almost like he was basically saying, look, you know, like this world is basically full of, you know, bad apples in it, you know, in a sense, and you know, but we're not gonna prevail with good type of thing. I think that the world that basically in life, right? Like that's where I hurt the hardest is because I try to go around always being helpful with people, you know, and real, giving, you know, doing so much shit. And I don't even think about it. You don't go, oh, I'm just going to pat myself on the back today because I did something for somebody. You just go throughout the world with a lot of compassion and love for people, and then you look around you and you got this negative ass or this, you know, kind of like nanny naysayer always, or you got this evil person that comes on and threatens to like slice mine and Deb's throats and stuff like that. You get vicious emails from people, and it's just a hard look at the world. And really, most people are so freaking up their own butts that they don't even know what being kind, nice, and caring is about because they're too busy, like I said, like in Delphi, too many whack jobs on this case with other cases too. And you just look around you and, you know, that's why I don't care that I have 1,000 people blocked. You know, those people can stay the heck away from the channel and then they'll make another account, come in, whatever. But we try to just keep this about caring and caring, kind people that care about people, you know, that want to make things better in the world. But there's just a lot of evil out there. A lot of selfish, self-absorbed people that, you know, and it's a hard look at the world, and then you realize it's around you and you're like, you kind of almost back off from it because you're just like, you can't fix this whole world. You can only hope that people get nicer, you know, like there are that people, you know, that, but you're not going to fix this. And I know I can't fix it.
By doing good and being kind and, you know, giving without expectation of getting anything in return makes you a happier person. And I feel like the more that people can experience that, the more they might say, I want to be more like that because that person seems happy. You know, do you know what I mean? It's like paying it forward, but it's also just spreading. It sounds corny, but spreading good vibrations, putting out expect that in by not expecting anything to come back to you for the good that you're doing. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think that Doug Carter, I was saying to you earlier, Sonny, we all need to go back and watch some of those earlier press conferences and stuff, because say what you will about Doug Carter, he is a spin doctor and he does dance around this case. But the words he chooses to use really are inspiring. And I think if
he has a huge
just went back to day one and look at the journey and what we've all gone through as followers of this case, I think it helps you bring you back and get out of all of this mud and stuff. And it's because of the words that Doug Carter and
he has a very huge heart. Anyone that listens to him can see that, you know, double talk and whatever, but Doug Carter, I absolutely see that guy's heart, and it's a beautiful heart. It's a beautiful, caring heart, is what it is. He has to do.
Are important. They're important.
And Verum, so let's see, Trinity and Verum. I absolutely don't think this scumbag intentions were good or to help the defense. Miranda, honestly, I can't imagine defense lawyers could be so grossly unprofessional, sloppy maybe, but not deliberately, but we will see. YouTube is full of morality corrupt creators who want to make money off of the murders. Well, let's clear that up for a second. There's definitely YouTubers that do things for money. This channel will never, ever, ever, and be about money first. But I really hate it when people sit there and say, "Oh, you're getting donations, you're making money off these murders," and stuff like that. And that's just small-minded talk when it's like that. But there's clearly people who just, want to reap in for the benefit of themselves money and stuff like that. This channel will grow, at least in our eyes. This channel will grow trying to stay just like I said, caring, and as it grows, ad revenue comes up. There's people like Charmaine here and Deb and stuff like that. You guys, the donations are appreciated. Again, like people sit there and try to take away. I put more hours in a day's work than most people do when they just go to their 8-hour a day job, sitting on the computer, type of thing. I just don't like it when people spin that in the wrong way for people, because I have no problem with people earning money and this is their work and stuff, but it's different.
But there are people that do that, and that is sad.
Yeah, so there's just a difference, right?
I want to remind people about about good channels and bad channels, I guess we'll say. The way that most social media works is interaction gets you pushed in the algorithm. So when you are really mad about what somebody is saying and you go and you write them a bunch of comments and tell them how wrong they are, that's still helping that person, that content creator. It's still pushing them in the algorithm.
That's
so
why I'm doing it.
Yeah, the best thing you can do if you don't like a channel and you don't agree with what they're saying is to completely ignore them. Don't watch their videos, don't comment, don't put a thumbs down, don't do anything. And the best thing you can do to help channels, if you obviously you can donate, but if you want to help them grow their channel, you want to help them get pushed in the algorithm, and to do that, watch their videos all the way through, because that helps. And if you can't watch them all the way through, watch them a little longer than you normally would, stick around a little longer. And thumbs up, leave a comment, and share if you can, even if it's to somebody who's not going to watch it. All those things help push good channels. Unfortunately, anger tends to be what gets people commenting.
Yeah. I'll always help those channels that I go to where I notice that they're decent channels, give them the thumbs up and stuff like that. Good content and stuff like that. But thank you, Ivy, for saying that, because it's so true.
Right.
And I know, and Ivy says it for, everyone. Anyways, I got to go. I'm going just for a second because my husband's just about to go to the store. So I want to make sure that I get my chips in. Be right back.
Go on. Read it.
No, I was going to say, Little Gambler says, most YouTubers want the truth, always have some bad apples. And of course, just like anything. What were you going to say, Ivy?
It was totally off topic. I was going to say, if we were in a lull, I was going to say what my theory is on Elvis, since I was being annoying in the chat and I was like, give me a link. But here's what I think happened.
I assume you're talking about Elvis Fields.
Yes, not Elvis Presley. I think what happened is I don't have a story for him talking to his sister on the 14th or whatever, but when he was the whole spit part, I think police talked to him and they were like, well, are you willing to give us, can we do a swab so we can look at your DNA? And, and he would be like, well, what is that? And they said, well, we just swab your mouth and we get some of your saliva. And then if you were at the scene, then we'll be able to know if you were there. So that puts that thought of his spit at the scene. So then later he's thinking about this. He's thinking about this on the drive home. And when he gets out, he goes back and asks them, well, what if they do find it at the scene? That doesn't mean it's true. It's just been going in his head. And I think that's where that came from. I don't think it was unprompted.
Same idea as Kagan doing a search for how long does DNA last. Totally, probably unrelated, but brings up questions in people's minds, I guess, especially lower IQ minds.
Yes. That's my theory.
And you're sticking to it?
I am
Okay.
completely unrelated to the topic, but
No, that's fine. You know what? Really, any topic goes that people want to talk about tonight, like whatever you guys want to bring up, and stuff like that. I'm just kind of looking at the comments, trying to highlight them for people. Um, you know, I just want to say at the end of the day, we're just here to worry about our channel, though, and what we do here. And, you know, whatever other people do, you know, it's none of our business. Like, really, it's not. We might dislike them and whatever, but at the end of the day, all I really care about is this channel, what we're trying to do, you know, and that's, like I said, to bring awareness, talk about things that mean a lot. I would never do, I can't fake being who I am, you know. I can't even try to do a fake clickbait and stuff like that. But like I said, however somebody wants to grow their channel, if other people follow it, so be it. I know that will grow slower for that reason, but because of what Ivy said, right? Support the channels that you know are actually doing things for a good reason, you know.
I'm the opposite. I'm like, let's find a way to take them down. How can we get rid of them?
Yeah, right. And it's called keep your enemies closer, right? Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer, Sharmy.
there's something to that. Sometimes.
Yeah. I'm just trying to look here. Travis saying, but Travis has a few different ones going up there that he's talking about. I think he's talking about the conversion thing. Taking a photo of something isn't mentioned at all in the definition, but control. Sorry. I'm just trying. I'm probably behind in the chat a bit here. Okay. First, you have to get his property.
Are you like 30 minutes behind in comments yet? That's
no, actually, no. I got at the bottom here is this. Travis has one had a list of the 5 worst YouTubers. Name of case. Oh yeah.
Was
Yeah.
that channel the top of the list by chance?
Yes, I've seen many YouTubers, and the whole thing is berating other YouTubers on subject and stuff like that to sell drama. And there is a market for it, big market. There is. Sadly, it's true. You know, we'll get like 100 people in our lives, if that, sometimes, and the ones that want to feed a bunch of narratives will get, you know, like 400 and stuff. And hey, whatever, right? Yeah, like I said, we can only do us. Can't fix what other people do and stuff like that. Not even gonna try. And like I said, I like that me and Adam pulled back, you know, from that stuff. And if it meant we lost some Delphi people from that, so be it, right? You know, just not
Right.
into the whole drama shit of it all.
It's the same reason same reason I don't post videos on my channel every day. I mean, I spend so much time on this channel, but I mean, if I really were in this just for, you know, clicks or views, I mean, the amount of things I could have posted, you know, that I could make videos on post, you know, but my word is always the number one thing to me. And if I give someone my word that I won't do something or I will do something, I always stick to it.
Adam, bow down to me right now.
I didn't give you my word that I do that.
You've
But you know,
calmed
that's
down
why I
a
like
little
these
bit,
pictures.
too.
You know, like I've had these for a very long time, but you know, I gave my word that I wouldn't share them, and I didn't.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what we did, you know, just backed off of it and waited for actual stuff to come out. I'm willing just to wait for the process. I just feel really horrible for the families, and for Abby and Libby type of thing. That's what I feel bad about. Um, that's part. And yes, we celebrate Thanksgiving, but me and Charmaine are from Canada, so we celebrated ours back in October, by the way. And again, tell those to people tomorrow, happy Thanksgiving over there in the USA there. And correct. So someone had me believing that the UK, where my husband's from, celebrated Thanksgiving, and then my husband's like, "Yeah, no, we don't." And then apparently they don't. I googled something and it said that they did too, because 2 people from the UK said, and I'm like, no, when Travis, right, Travis? And Travis has no problem reminding me of that either. So let's see. I watched it all, just like CNN, Fox News. I want to know what everyone's saying, but there are some crazy theories out about Delphi. Crazy theories and crazy people. Okay, they go hand in hand. The crazy theories go with usually the crazy people. Don't pay attention to me. I am AI controlled. I cannot lie. Or she can turn me up and down. It takes me hours to look bed for cat. Trinity. Let's try that again. Too much eggnog there, Trinity? I can only imagine the time it takes for content creators to make videos, do research. Oh God, yeah. You know, that's why it's appreciated. This is my job now for the last year. You know, when I lost my job, but again, it's like I feel like, you know, when you're just doing something that you love doing, which is people. And for me, it's always been people and using my creative mind. So whether that was in painting or whether that's in creating videos or whether that's in writing a poem or writing songs or whatever, I just love using my creativity. That's where I shine for myself. You know, I am not no lawyer. I am not smart at math. Well, once we got into past the times table, okay. After that, whatever. My twin sister, totally opposite. That's her forte, type of thing. But when it comes to creativity and being a people person and caring and stuff like that, I that's why when I was 26 years old, you know, someone asked me, why do you always look down, like not being confident in myself? I hated compliments. Whenever somebody gave me a compliment, I'd stand there for 5 minutes saying, like, I was blushing. I hated compliments. And then I realized that, you know what? The only people I want in my life, abuse and that came into that, playing that factor too. The only people I want into my life are the people that actually care about me, want to lift me up, not bring me down and stuff like that. And so I took that with me and I take that with me on this channel. Why would I want someone to come in here with their negative ass and sit there and try to hurt other people or talk ignorant? Why would I want that for myself or for the other fine people that truly do have care and stuff like that? Anyways.
Hey, Sunny, enough about you.
I was
Okay.
gonna say, you want me just to leave? Like,
Joe.
Joe Johnson has something important to say to you, Sunny.
I love it when my hair is at its dirtiest and someone gives me a compliment like that. Absolutely love it, to be honest. Like when I'm feeling like, you know, like the whole no shower look going on here, which it is, just so you know, it is. Thank you. I'll take it, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I
I'm
don't
not
think
blushing no
anyone.
more.
I don't think anyone that covers true crime or follows true crime really closely. That'll probably become a question they ask on every jury selection.
Yeah.
Now. Like,
None of
do
us
you
are ever
watch?
going to be a jury member.
yeah, no, I am not jury material at all.
And we'd be so good at it.
Being on
Well,
a jury?
Well,
Professional
we
juror.
a professional juror?
That, I
Like,
mean, I
can I
talk about
be
it.
foreman?
I mean, I would love to get paid to be a jury. I am so judgmental. I can judge
They pay
people.
like super tiny, don't they? Like, 'cause
Yeah.
I can't remember how much, but I remember seeing it like you can get some workplaces will give you like paid time off, but other places they'll give you time off, but it's not paid. And then the amount you make as a juror is so minuscule that I always wondered, like, with those long cases, how do you pay your bills?
I know, that's what I wonder too. Travis, tell us, how do people pay their bills?
You have to
that
write
are
a
on-
book. You have to write a book after the case is over.
It's a question I always had too, you know.
Has
Yeah, my
anybody
mom.
read? Oh, sorry, go on.
My mom was on a jury. It was like a 3-day trial or something, and her employer, she was unionized, so she got paid for the time. But apparently, you get paid if your employer is paying you. They put you up in a hotel. But this is Canada, so I don't know in the States. But I mean, she didn't have any. I mean, the case bothered her, obviously, but
I agree. Yeah.
financially, it didn't affect her at all.
Hmm.
But like I said, that's in Canada, so I don't know what
You
it's
guys
like.
tend to be a little looser with your money, it seems, towards your citizens.
We need to be, we're a little looser with everything where it doesn't matter, really.
Has
Yeah, that
anybody
helps.
read what is Renner's first name?
Who?
I'm blanking on it. Renner. With the guy with the yeah, James.
Renner?
Have you read his book it's about Maura Murray, but not at the same time? It's more about like his getting obsessed with the case. And that's what it's about. Like it's tangentially about Maura, but it's mostly about him getting like obsessed with true crime.
Right. And I want to agree with Trinity said. I
I
sometimes.
want to
Oh,
agree with. Wait, no. Don't you agree with what Anne said first?
oh, Anne says I'm just here to enjoy Adam. Thank you,
Yeah,
Anne.
you can
I
go on
enjoy
your
you
turn.
too. And Trinity said, I sometimes feel like Abby and Libby get lost in the drama. And, I
Sometimes.
think all four of us agree with that. And I think we do a pretty good job of keeping the girls first and foremost. I hope so, at least. I'm sure anyone can do better. But, I mean, I'm amazed at the amount of, like, streams I watch sometimes. And they don't even mention their names.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. My bad. My
Right.
bad. Hold on. Let's
So,
put up.
and
Go
I'm
look
not
up
dissing on other channels, but I mean, it just as a follower of true crime, I mean, I watch it for the victims, and then when I do watch a stream or a documentary or something, and they don't even talk about the victims, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
someone can't see the forest through the trees, but
That's why Becky always says too, right? And like, remember the girls. Remember the girls.
please.
Type of thing. Yeah, remember the girls. That's the reason it's here. As for Joe Johnson, he said, "Are we going to be talking about Fran Gall?" Not really. I mean, not really. To be honest with you, we know that she hasn't been feeling well lately. She's been working from home, so prayers to Fran Gall.
So was she in the hospital, or was she not, or was she in the hospital in the past?
Well, right. Yeah, go ahead, Adam.
My understanding is that she was it the second, I believe, that she either entered the hospital or was started feeling bad and had to enter the hospital to receive urgent medical care. And she was there for a number of days, and she is home now. And she's been working from home, and another judge has been covering her casework, and she hopes to get back to work soon. That's as much information as I know. And I did talk to someone in the Allen County Court yesterday, and they told me that all they know is that she's working from home. It's a medical issue, and they're all praying that she gets better soon and that she wants to return to work as quick as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as for the whole stuff that's going on in the courts, I mean, besides, like, what do you have? You have the defense saying, like, these motions and Fran's Gall coming back. Just personally, Joe Johnson, we're just waiting. We're just watching it play out on there. And so, yeah, I mean, well, I guess, like, okay, fine, I'll show it, I guess. There's that motion that, I guess we can show that. Where is it? This one right here, I believe. Just give me a second.
I was doing such a good job with my organization of all the filings, and then the last, like, 2 or 3 days, it's fallen apart.
Ivy, can I send you my can I just send you my cell phone, and you can, like, just organize it all for me?
No, that's like the only place I'm organized. Everywhere else is just, like, ridiculous.
But I only have like 36,000 files and pictures.
No, thank you. Where are my pictures at?
Who wants to read the order?
13,000 videos.
10,000 a day, unreal.
I'd like to say about Joe Johnson's comment. I think that, or maybe it wasn't Joe Johnson. Somebody mentioned the jury, or sorry, the speedy trial or whatever, or no, the tainted jury pool. And I was thinking about this the other day, that when they first did the change of venue or whatever it's called, taking the jury pool out of Allen County and bringing them into Carroll County for the trial, I think that was like a good move until now, with all of this drama going on in Allen County with all of those lawyers. Now there's so many people following that nonsense, right? That probably.
But I don't think the jury is coming from Allen County, is it? Is that what you said?
Yeah, it is.
Are they?
Remember, it was between.
Oh, I missed that.
Oh, it was remember when they were picking between the two counties? It was it St. Joseph's County? It was somewhere up in the north, right by the lake. It was.
I remember their arguments, because their
Allen County,
stats arguments are stupid.
and they picked that the jury would come from Allen County. But that's a good point, Charmaine. I always like to think that if they could find an impartial jury in that little county in South Carolina where Alex Murdaugh was, with the national attention that case had, I Travis might be able to answer this question better, but I mean, I feel like I feel like if they can get impartial juries in some of these hugely national cases, even in small counties, it can be done.
I feel like I could be impartial. Do you guys feel like you could be impartial?
No,
Absolutely.
not against Rick Allen, but just
Not in
against.
this case. I mean, I could be impartial. We know too much.
Yeah.
I feel like I could be impartial.
But you couldn't, Ivy, and I can tell you, the reason I think that you couldn't is because in a court, the things you have to be impartial about are going to be different, and there are already things that you've formed opinions about that may never even enter that courtroom.
Yeah, like you could be sitting there and think that you know something for certain because we've heard it for so many years and it could have been a credible source, and then have them try to disprove it in court. You're still going to be thinking, well, what about that? What about that?
Right.
I have, you have to be able to.
They would never let me on, but I think I could go. I think I could go what was presented there, which it doesn't matter. I'm not going to be on the thing, but I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. They usually try to find people who haven't really heard about it, but that's not probably possible. So at that point, it's it's okay if you've heard about it, just not if you're following it closely or.
But think about this, if to talk about Alec Murdaugh again, if in that murder trial, if you were being picked for that jury, I think if you had followed that case and you knew that case the way you do Delphi, the reason you would not have probably been picked as a jury or jury member is because in that case they deemed none of the financial crimes that Alec Murdaugh was being accused of, because it was a separate case. None of them were allowed to be entered into the murder trial until, of course, the defense attorney said something he probably wishes he hadn't, and then it opened the door for all of those things to come in. But there's just so many parameters that you have to follow in a courtroom that you don't have to follow when we're covering a true crime case.
I understand that. I just feel on this specific, on a case that had to do with, this might make me sound bad, but on a case that had to do with animals, I probably couldn't. But I feel like I could on this case for some reason. But we can disagree because it's not going to ever come to that. It's never going to be an option.
You're going to move to Allen County, aren't you?
Hell no.
Travis, look at your phone message. I sent you a phone message, Travis. This is between me and Travis. Nobody else listen. Travis, look at your phone message.
We're having this whole conversation as Sonny's trying to do something else. I'm sorry, Sonny.
I know, right? No, no. I just wasn't sure if Travis, if he wanted to pop on and to be just, I'm sure his fingers are sore. But no, look at him go, man. He's like a book writing machine there. So Charmaine, very well, maybe could be fair and impartial.
Thank you, Travis.
You won't know until you hear all the evidence and then say, wait, they didn't present any evidence at all about that. Anyways,
I could be fair and impartial. And like I said, I'm too squirrel, number one, and I've got my own opinions. And when I don't know, I'm not that kind of person that can be swayed one way or the other if I believe something. You know what I mean? But they did it with OJ, and that's another huge one. Everybody knew OJ. Everybody kind of knew what was happening, and they found a jury there. So
I hate even saying it.
Out of state, though, has that ever happened?
What?
Oh. Get a jury from out of state if they had to? Did that ever happen?
I don't know.
Because there are a ton of people that have never heard of this case. Absolutely.
Yeah, there is, because when you're in true crime, doesn't matter if it's hit the news out there. Like myself, I didn't even pay attention to the news or anything for 20 something years. I literally couldn't tell you about shit if it came to a case on there. And there's a lot of people like that just no idea about the true crime that's going on. So I think that they can find impartial.
I could tell you more about Indiana right now than I could about my county, my home county.
Oh, absolutely. I agree 100%, Ivy.
I'd be totally impartial here. I have no idea what's going
I
on.
can't tell you the name of my sheriff, but I can tell you the name of half the sheriffs in Indiana.
Yes. Same.
Right? Isn't that funny? Yeah. It's true
I
enough.
don't know what the lead prosecutor in my county is.
Oh,
Yeah, so
man.
true. And that's kind of, I don't know what that says.
Sorry, just hold on. I've often just trying to squirrel. I've often heard of jurors that say that they thought the defendant was guilty, but the state just didn't prove right the case using the guidance that the judge gives via the jury instructions. Travis says he's a squirrel. I've never heard of this case until a month ago. That's true. On DD because of Avery by Bob and Allie. Then boom, over here. Right, exactly. Now
Yay.
he's probably regretting that.
Part of me feels like I should send a Christmas card to the Carroll County Clerk's office. I bother them so often.
I know. Yeah, I know.
If they would just use my case, it wouldn't be a problem.
I know.
Did you guys see my message earlier today when I called? Let's see.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I called.
Oh,
Where's Franklin at?
Where's
it's
Franklin in
Not
Indiana?
Howard. It's not Howard County. It's
Johnson.
no. Sorry.
Whatever county that is. I called them, and I got to the thing. I said, would you be willing to like email me a court record? And I gave them the name. They sent me to a criminal, and then I talked to that lady, and I could already tell she knew what was going on, and she put me on hold for a while, but then it disconnected, so I had to call back and talk to somebody, and I told them the name, which was Westerman, and she said, well, who are you? Which I hate when they ask that. Just give me the damn paper.
I know.
So I told her, and then she gave it to me, and she said, if you don't mind me asking, how do you know about this already? I said, the YouTube streets things go fast. And she's like, yeah, I guess they do.
Yeah.
So, but the way she asked me was kind of funny though.
I think it was Johnson. It's the Johnson Circuit Superior Court.
Okay.
Is it Johnson?
Give me a sec, guys. I'm just going to be right back. Okay, I'm just going to read this, and then Travis, too, if you can input that. We got this. So on October 30th, 2023, the realtor by counsel petitioned for a writ of mandamus and prohibition seeking relief under the rules of procedure for original action. On November 16, 2023, respondents by counsel filed a brief opposing the petition. The realtor has moved to file a brief replying to the respondent's brief. Although the rules of the procedure for original action do not afford a realtor the right to file a reply after the respondents have opposed issuance of a writ, the court retains the authority to permit deviation from the rules and chooses to do so here. Being duly advised, the court grants the realtor's motion for leave to respond to respondents' objections. The clerk is instructed to file the realtor's response to respondents' objections as of the date of this order. Adam, get your ass back on here. Done at Indianapolis. You guys bailed on me on this one. Because Adam, you get your ass back here, buddy. Because you can. I know can say this better than I can say this. I mean, what we said earlier is right. But Travis is in chat as well. So if we fuck up with what we're saying, Travis is going to correct our butts.
So my understanding for what this meant, and I'm sure Travis can correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, I think it was essentially the Supreme Court granting Richard Allen's side the right to include the motion that they filed yesterday. Typically, I guess in Indiana Supreme Court, you're not allowed to, the relator is not allowed to file a response after the respondent responds. In this case, they've agreed to allow them, and this was just entering the motion that Richard Allen's attorneys filed into the record, so that when they do make their decision, they'll use this. They'll use that motion that was filed yesterday.
Relator. Oh, Charmaine did it again.
Relator. They'll use that motion that was filed yesterday, and the information in it to make their decision.
Yeah.
In addition to the other things.
Travis said that the brief is now official part of the case.
Cool.
Yeah.
That means I'm right?
Yep. Exactly.
Oh, Miss Charmaine.
Yeah. Okay, I'll be right back. So that I'm just going to be right back. I just wanted to say that because it's been on the screen there, and while Travis is in here, if we missaid it, then we got Travis right there to put us back on track properly.
I love that he said relator again.
Yeah.
Relator.
Yeah. What's the other word? It's one of your
Respondent.
process.
Process.
Anyways, I'll be right back.
I have a question for almost attorney Aspen.
Oh,
Okay, so in the response, I guess I should have pulled that up first. In the response from them on that one about the public access Supreme Court case,
Yeah.
where they argue that basically there wasn't they said that there had to have been a motion that then the judge ordered against or whatever, and they didn't go through that process, therefore they shouldn't even consider the mandamus. Does that ring a bell?
Honestly, it doesn't right now.
All right, never mind then.
I believe you. I believe you 100%.
I strike my question from the.
I'd have to have that in front of me. Can we delay that and maybe schedule a hearing on that later at a later
So
date?
grant your extension.
I will decide to completely move it from the record.
Yes, I couldn't think of the record.
Clerk, can you strike that from the record and
No, it's not your job to tell me what to do.
And delete it from all evidence that it was ever there.
Yeah.
Consider it done. No, Sharon, no, he's a 4-year-old monster. He is not a puppy. He weighs 120 pounds. So the first time I got knocked off, my little miniature Shetland pony dog unplugged my computer, and then ever since then I've been dropping off, and I have this terrible feeling that he's messed with the power cord or something. I don't know, but
I have one of those hairdryer brush combo things, and that cord is all sorts of chewed up. I'm surprised I don't get shocked by it. It was from puppy years, though.
do you want a hairstylist off topic little tip?
No, we're good. We're good.
please don't say anything but we're an air dryer.
Go
I was
ahead.
gonna give everyone a tip for their cords, but never mind.
Oh, no. Go. We're listening.
Sonny's not next to me.
So it would protect you, Ivy, from the cord being chewed up, but also if you get annoyed about your blow dryer or flat iron or curling iron cords getting tangled all the time, literally if you know how long the cord is, you can go into Home Depot or have your husband or boyfriend. You can go into Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever, and they sell electrical cord.
The shrink wrap stuff?
No. This is literally just a little plastic thing, and it goes right over your cord, and you have them cut it to whatever length it is. It's super cheap. And
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It keeps your cords from ever tangling, and it would protect them from the burns in them.
Wow.
Yeah. If you guys didn't know that you guys were going to get that commercial, it's a bonus. It's a bonus feature on this channel every now and again.
Yeah. Hair advice, any and all.
Well, there you go. That was my free advice for the night.
Yeah. And you guys in chat there, is there anything that you want us to bring up or talk about? Because this is kind of just a YOLO live for talking about whatever, going from A to Z. If you guys have something that you want to specifically talk about, just say. And then I'm going to leave again, and then these guys can answer. Let's see. and room. Most direct actions are denied, and the court just dismissed them. A small percentage, the court orders respondents to file. By the way, we're 5 days away from the 27th to see what comes out that day, I suppose, eh? Orders respondent to file a response if they wish. In those cases, it's 9 minutes till Thanksgiving, by the way, for you guys. In those cases, it's normal for court to, Travis, he doesn't know his 200-word limit. Hold on. Grant, leave a file, a reply. The court looks harder at the amicus briefs. Here they have reviewed 2 out of 2 so far. Whew. Okay. That's it. That's all I had to say. Oh,
Hey, Lacey.
Adam, I was going to say, stop flirting with me. Lacey's in the house. You know how she
Good to see you,
gets.
Lacey.
She gets so petty. Okay. Yeah. No. And then Daisy. Good thing Daisy's not here. Daisy, are you hiding? No, it's pretty entertaining. Actually, I don't even know what you guys are all talking about anymore. It's become habitual. No stressor is gone. I want to say happy USA Thanksgiving to everyone. Yep. Cluck, cluck, cluck. Hope you guys have a good turkey day tomorrow. Like I said, I'll go live. I'll just go live whenever. Oh,
You're not gonna wait for me to get home tomorrow night, Sonny?
probably not. I don't know. I'm just gonna. Oh, husband's here. He's more important. Be right back.
So I have a question for Travis really quickly. That if you're still in the chat, CJK asked this question, and I've seen it quite a few times today by different people. CJK says, waiting on more arrest in regards to the leaks. And I just wanted to ask legally, Travis, I mean, so far we know that Mitch Westerman has, said that he, without Andrew Baldwin's knowledge, is the one that took those pictures. So my question is, can someone be held criminally responsible for leaking something outside of that original leak? Like, my question is, I guess, if Mitch Westerman took the picture of the crime scene photos and then sent it out, isn't any dissemination after that, like, what crime would that be? And I'm just curious.
Are you asking for sending?
No.
Are you asking if other YouTubers are sending them out, or
even I guess we know that it went from Westerman to Fortson. I mean, we know Fortson can't be brought up on charges because he's not with us. But then as far as like Mark Cohen or I don't know where it went from there, but could that person be held up? Could the Mark Cohen person be in trouble for something? Because my understanding was no, but I'm curious what Travis has to say.
While we wait for him to answer, I heard, now I can't remember who, but I heard somebody was like, oh, I hear rumblings about other people being arrested. I tend to think like you, I don't know, what charge would they be charged with? But I also thought the same thing about originally. So there's that.
And Travis, no, I'm not asking for me. When I was, I've said this before, but when I received the photos, the first and only thing I did with them was I sent an email to investigation. I sent it to Nick McClellan because that's the email address I had, and he thanked me for them. And I told him where I got them. I told him who I got them from, and he said he would forward it on to investigators, and that's what he did. So that was literally the extent of that.
And Adam, just so I can get this off the screen, can you just quickly tell Hike what you were actually trying to say about the electrical cord?
Oh, well, no, they sell these it's like a plastic covering that goes over an electrical cord, and you can have them cut it to any length you want. Like my blow dryer cord is 12 feet long, which is great, but it gets tangled really easy. So years ago, a friend of mine's husband was an engineer and told me about this, and I've done it every blow dryer I've ever had since, and it's like $5. They literally just cut the plastic, and it looks like a cord, but it just wraps around your electrical cord, and you can use it for anything. But it keeps it from tangling and it protects it from being burned.
But can she do that? Is it illegal to even have possession of the photos if you've reported where they came from? Like, they can't force you to delete them. I don't know. I don't think. And if that's the case, there's dozens of creators that had them and probably sent them, and
I'm sure.
I see it going nowhere fast if that was even attempted.
Right.
And if you think about it, it's actually been very well contained. It has.
Yeah.
Quickly as the internet moves and how vast it is, you cannot go on and Google these pictures, which is next time heard of when something is leaked to the internet, right?
Agreed.
So creators have done a good job in keeping it contained, in my opinion.
Do you think the original
I agree.
56 or 57 or whatever the number was, do you guys remember that when like it first started happening? That they said there was, do you think that was true and it's grown since then, or do you think that was overinflated?
I did not receive them from the original email leak that they came from. I got them from, like I said, I got them from a friend that's not on YouTube, not on, you know, so, but like I said, as soon as I talked to the prosecution and then investigators, I told them immediately where I got them, and they followed up on that. And the person that sent me them knew I was going to give them, you know, I said, you know, I didn't ask for these, but now that I have them, I'm going to do what, you know, I think is right and turn this over to the investigation. Because I didn't feel right. I didn't feel like I needed those. I didn't feel like I wanted those. And so it, you know, any way to help finding out how they were disseminated from the top was my only goal.
Right, Trinity. Only Westerman is guilty. But
Yeah.
Judge Frangel's going to arrest you all. Come at me, Frangel. No, I'm just kidding.
But nothing was stolen. Nothing was stolen. There's no stolen property.
And I was told by investigators that I did the exact right thing. So I felt better about that.
My animals were yelling at me, so I had to go feed them real quick. Did you guys already read what Travis said about the A to A gives to B, C gives to D, all the way to Z? Did you guys read that one?
Yeah, no one commits a crime
Thank
past
you.
Western because he's the one that took them.
Yeah. I just
And
thought it
that
was
was-
interesting that it was from the Pentagon Papers, that what is that? I'm blanking on the word. When you cite other cases, case law,
Precedent.
precedent, there you go. It doesn't matter. It's like a completely non-issue, but I had to kind of like giggle. I probably shouldn't have started this statement, but I kind of giggled. I guess a mix of Goal's age and where she said in the email, like, go see these people, and if they don't give you the pictures back,
Right.
like, I'll arrest them. Like, hey, what?
Your age is showing. Yeah.
That he has these like Polaroids.
That's a different. That would have been theft, right?
Yeah, Adam made fun of that when she did, because it's like, what? They're not pictures.
Well, you know, knowing now that, you know, these were paper copies that photos were taken of, you know, maybe there was a misunderstanding, or maybe there was some conversation about, maybe she thought that the photos themselves were actually stolen from the office. So I don't know.
Yeah, because I mean, if they're doing all of these conversations over email, you know as well as I do how quickly
Things
things
get
can get
lost.
convoluted over text, even.
But even at that point, like, I mean, maybe she wouldn't know they were separate, but Snay and Murder Sheets can't both have at the same time. Like, somebody would have to have a copy.
Right.
Electronics and internet makes things so interesting.
right?
Interesting word. Yeah.
Absolutely, and agree. I agree with you.
And even if people get the pictures, because I'm sure they will continue spreading privately, I would
hope.
like, please, if you get them, I'm not going to judge you for getting them, but don't put them on the internet where other people can find them. And the reason I say that, not so much because I don't think they should be out there for the public, which I don't think they should be out there for the public, but I especially don't think it's fair that forever the family should have to worry about every time they come online that they might come across these graphic pictures of their kids and their grandchildren murdered by somebody. Like, I don't know if anybody has ever Googled John Bonet or, oh my gosh, Travis Alexander, who was killed by Jodi Arias. Like,
Yeah.
those pictures are so graphic. And they come up, like, really quick in the Google Photos. So that's what I worry about. So if you get them, look at them, discuss them. Don't put them on the internet, though.
Correct. You know, absolutely. Sorry. Husband bought Hawaiian pizza. He said he was going to Shoppers, but they ended up stopping beside Pizza Hut right there.
Stuffed crust?
This one, no, this one's not. Stuffed crust is really good though.
It's delicious.
We're just taking another infomercial here for Pizza Hut. We did Home Depot, now it's Pizza Hut's turn. Okay, so hike. For those that saw the pics, what looks staged. Hold on, I got a cough. Sorry, guys.
I will say that yes, I think from the little depictions that we've seen, I guess you can call them, in my opinion, there's no way that those sticks could randomly fall like that. And considering that Libby was moved, I would say that there's some sort of staging.
It wasn't just Libby, I believe it's both of them.
Probably both. We know for sure Libby was moved.
Ron Logan's affidavit. How were they moved? Or, that the girls were moved.
Did it say both of them were moved in there?
Yeah, I'm pretty darn sure it did.
We'll have to go look.
Yeah, actually, need a refresher on that one. I was going to look at it the other day, and then I got sidetracked again. I want to make very clear, though, there's no freaking antlers on Abby's head. That those sticks that supposedly look like a monasteric actually truly don't. If you look at it from the different angles, I can't help it. It just reminds me when someone has like a weight belt, in a sense, and then they got like the side things beside it. That's what, for some reason, it reminds me of. Like, here's a stick, and then there's some sticks like on either side, yeah? And that's what it reminds me of, like, as if somebody's using wood and it's a weight belt. And I only use that reference because that's what it looks like to the eye visually. But then when you look at it from the side, like the stick formation, the TCD True Crime Design. So that's like a 1D, whatever you want to call it. Is it called 2D when it's just like a picture like that, or 1D, whatever? Anyways, but they're not getting the height of the sticks and how really they're laid properly and stuff like that. So that's the one thing I want to say, is that it didn't look like an asterisk either once I really kind of looked at it. And again, this is just about using, I think, common sense. There's no freaking antlers at all. That's just a figment of imagination. To be honest with you, there's just no horns or antlers there. And that the depiction of the sticks on platform isn't really representative of it. And when you look at it from the side angle, it really doesn't. Like, I can see from the picture, it looks like an asterisk, but to me, that all three, like the F tree, and that there's no Odinism runes going on there.
But you can agree that they were intentionally placed.
Intentionally placed, absolutely. There's none of this. That's what we were talking about yesterday. There's none of this throwing them and they landed that way. These were intentionally placed.
Not to hide the not to hide anything.
Yeah. It's like what it reminds me of again is it reminds me of somebody trying to create a look and they totally failed. Like if they knew like meaning any like I said Odinism person that was into the whole astro thing or they would have known how to lay darn sticks to represent what their runes are and stuff like that. So this is just to me the defense planting the seed of this is an F tree, that this is an asterisk, and right because they went with the whole Odinism thing. No way. There. Honestly, it's nothing. The sticks are placed there purposely, but it just really looks like it was. It. I'll go with what I've said. It was a distraction. I don't know if there was any meaning behind those sticks, but just to portray as if it was some sort of sacrifice of some sort or ritual thing or runes thing or whatever you want to call it. But
I'd like to bring up what Sunny and I were talking about earlier about I'm sorry, I just don't know why you would go and eat worms. I didn't think that at all. Okay, anyways, okay, moving on. So when it comes to something that looks purposefully done at a crime scene, I think back to Gary Ridgway, the Green River Killer, where one of his victims that he dumped there, she was found with a dead fish, a wine bottle, and some sausage and some rocks. And so the investigators started thinking, well, number one, is this even connected? Number two, is this a biblical sort of meaning? Like, what is the message here? And they didn't go down any rabbit holes or anything, but it definitely raised their eyebrows, made them wonder where all that was coming from. But years later, when Gary Ridgway was arrested and he was asked specifically about that, he said, yeah, I was just messing around with the body. I just happened to have this stuff in my truck. There was a dead fish laying there on the banks, and he was there playing with the body, and he said it had absolutely no meaning. It was just something that he decided to do in the moment. So even though the sticks are intentionally placed there, that means that he or whoever decided for whatever reason he was going to put sticks in a certain formation. Could have been trying to make it look like something, but he could have just been doing it to mess with the bodies. That sounds horrible, but
that's right.
It happens.
But it's a horrible person or persons that did that.
I'm so sorry, Mike. We didn't mean to traumatize anybody. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I should have a trigger warning on my face. Trigger warning.
One other thing I wanted to point out about them, and I don't know if this is fact or not, but it seems like I've talked to several people about this, and it seems like the stick going up and down on Abby's right side, that it's in a lot of the drawings that people have made. Like, I think it's in Gray's and Snay's both. That stick isn't actually on the ground.
Correct. Well,
told me that stick is actually a part of a branch that is still attached to a tree that is just happens to be in front of the person taking the photo, and the way that it is in the photo makes it in the same kind of look like it's there, but that's not actually on the ground. And the reason I think that's important is because if that stick was on the ground, it would look like both girls had the same thing around them, the same like box that's missing a bottom. But if you take that away, they're not as similar.
Correct. And that's why it's like I said, it's hard when. Go ahead.
There's a frame. I don't know. I thought because they were so similar that there was something to that, but apparently that's not the case.
Yeah.
I believe you did, Travis. I keep forgetting that I have a microphone and I don't have to type things.
Did I answer Aspen's question?
I'm pretty sure you did.
I don't pay attention to what Aspen says, so did you?
She never does. And you know what? She'd be a lot smarter if she did, because I say some pretty good things.
You do.
And she's like, wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard
What
to.
was your question? I've forgotten it since then. I listened the first time.
I think it was about the leak, about the
Oh,
legality
people
of.
getting arrested.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you answered it perfectly. You know,
But yeah, again, I was not worried about myself.
Mitch Westerman is the one that's responsible. Hence why he was the only one that was arrested. They would have arrested others if that was the case, and it's just not the case on there. And I agree with what Ivy said, or sorry, Charmaine was talking about too. About again, I believe that those sticks were just exactly what like whatever. I think that it was kind of like, oh, let me do this and make it look like a certain way, and yet really it probably means nothing. Just besides they were there to use, and hey, let me distract from what truly, I think it was just a misdirection, for sure.
Um, Aspen,
Yes.
I heard on Ruckus's channel. I think he was on his channel. But anyways, I think I heard him mention that there was some kind of writing on one of the girls. Can you address that?
Girls or branch?
Girls.
Wait, can you repeat that?
I know it was Ruckus, and I can't remember if it was his live or a different live, but he had said that he saw a number 13 written on one of the girls' skin.
I've not seen that. And I like Ruckus, and so I don't know what I don't know what.
He's talking about the one of Libby, and somebody else said it too. There's like lines, and
is he talking about? I don't. I mean, like I said, I don't like to really talk about the pictures too much out of respect, other than just dispel a few things. But there is, it makes sense. I mean, if you're looking at a crime scene photo, if there's a printed out crime scene photo on a table, it would make sense that it would have an evidence sticker in it or on it, and I don't remember it being a 13 or what or the.
It looked like a B to me, like the word bagged or something.
But yeah, but I have heard that. So I didn't look that closely, but I mean, I definitely could see some consistency in like the lines, which I originally thought were computer screen lines, and they still may have been on at least one of them.
So that makes me wonder if those photos were in evidence bags, like even transparent evidence bags, if there was some kind of
I doubt it.
There would have been a lot big bad glare off of that.
Right. Well, because I believe that most of a lot of the discovery, some of the discovery was sent electronically, some of it was sent physically. But I'm sure it was a copy of the original photo, because they wouldn't that would still be in the evidence which would be in the custody of, I guess, still the county.
So bottom line, you don't think that it was the perpetrator purposefully writing something on the Libby, sorry.
No, if it was a B or a 13.
Information that needs to be dispelled, because it's going out. It's going around for sure.
I mean, okay. I didn't see anything in those photos that would indicate that something was written on either of the girls. Inside the picture, possibly, but not on one of the girls at all.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I mean, each to their own take. You guys know I saw flying elephants and shit like that.
Right. I heard someone else say they thought it was a watermark.
Julie, I think.
And I mean, people are going to see, it's a matter of perception, but the fact is that it's there, just context. We have no idea what it is. We just know that it's there.
From what I saw on Ruckus says, it seemed like it was writing on the paper, definitely not. I mean, I guess I can't say definitely, but a very high chance not writing on skin. if that's a good chunk of that question. And I thought maybe it could be writing on the back of the paper, like a note on the back of maybe like where it came from or whatever, or even the paper underneath it. I don't know if that would stick through that much.
But wouldn't it would be, I don't know what the right word would be, but it would be like the
flipped.
mirror
Then I was
image.
thinking like sometimes, you know, when you have I guess mostly on like Snapchat and stuff like that, it like flips. But a regular camera you would think wouldn't. I don't know.
Fair enough. Well, I'm just thankful to hear that it wasn't actual writing on Libby.
Yeah.
That would infuriate me even more, honestly.
Yeah. You know, for me, besides looking at the pictures, I haven't literally, like, really, I haven't actually, like, really intensely looked at them. You know, spending 2 years and realizing I was wrong on a lot of shit. Because obviously, once you see the photos, you're like, even though it's not the whole crime scene, you're just like, the fuck was I seeing then? You know, out of this. I mean, I know that whole stuff went on. You know, when I came in and I saw Robert Lindsay stuff, and I saw the video from Devil's Hop Yard, and there was spray containers there. I couldn't tell you, to be honest. In my head, I'm waiting for the trial date in my head, and whatever happens in between that. But I literally have not sat there and went like, was that a bullet there beside things? I think Ruckus was showing a bullet or something like that, and that. But
Travis, it's Charmaine. I'm Charmaine. Hi, Charmaine. Yeah, I'm not Deb. I'm not a blonde, nice lady.
I had, for F's sakes, I had something covering up Deb's avatar, and I couldn't figure out why Charmaine sounded so different. Note to self: 3 White Russian. Oh, White Russian. Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think about when
Travis was married? Okay.
Married? They said buried or married. I couldn't figure out which one.
And so, what were you going to say?
When do you guys think that Barbara got the stuff she showed on court TV? The like little sticks in the F tree?
Probably years ago. Probably when she was, probably when she was doing the podcast. I mean, the podcast.
Two sources close to the investigation. It was, she said.
It sounded in the, which one was it? I think the transcript for the chambers meeting is where it was. It kind of sounds like that's at least one of those, maybe the little depiction of the sticks and maybe the F tree is what was sent to the Purdue professor.
Right. That's what it sounded like.
Oh, of course. Or they
Which
showed
is kind of interesting.
Right.
For sure. I just think that, I don't know, I just feel like back then, like, there was a lot more loose lips, more so.
Well, remember, there was no protective order. There was no gag order.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Was it right? Probably not. Was it illegal? No.
No, right. You know, I mean, obviously they would have had to show the pictures to the professor in that to ask him about the runes.
And
so Judge Diener didn't seal anything, because I know he sealed the PCA. So he didn't seal any of the crime scene photos or anything else like that. Like I don't know. I'm not
there was a rest of,
but I feel like that's a little far fetched. If they're going to seal the entire PCA and not crime scene photos or anything else, that seems a little bit out there.
What I'm saying, until there was an arrest in this case, there was no judge to make that to order a gag, or protective order.
Up until he recused himself, it would have been Judge Diener.
So White Russians, Deb.
No, but I know what I'm saying is there would have been nothing to there. There was not a judge assigned to this case.
There was not a judge even to the case.
Diener wasn't assigned to this case until
how did he
so that Charmaine
sign the search warrant affidavit, right?
Right. So once he was assigned, when they applied, once they applied, and Travis could clarify this, but I believe that one, because when Diener's signed the search warrant, I think that he was then assigned the case. But before they they applied for that search warrant, I don't know what judges signed the other search warrants throughout this case, but they weren't the same. I don't think they were all Judge Diener, if I'm correct. But there was no. I don't. I think until the search warrant for Richard Allen, I don't think there was. There was. Well, we know there was no gag order or.
Well, I mean, up until Richard Allen was arrested, really, right? I mean, everything was just here. We need to go search, and then Judge Diener signed for that.
Right.
Was he the one that signed for? Is he the one that did Ron Logan's?
I'd have to go back and look, and that's what I said. I can't remember, but now if there had been if things were leaked, those should have been addressed by Indiana State Police or whoever was in charge of the investigation. Whether or not they allowed leaks to happen or continue is absolutely a fair question. And clearly stuff got leaked. Where the original source of those things were from, we don't know.
Travis is asking you to repeat yourself.
But that would be something that Indiana State Police would have been responsible for investigating at the time. What is the?
Okay, so Travis just said. So what was the question about the search warrant?
Well, and like I said, I'd have to go back and literally look at the search warrants that we have in Carroll County regarding this case, but I don't know if they were all Diener or not. So I don't know at what point Judge Diener was assigned to this case. I don't know if it's when he signed the search warrant for Richard Allen, or if it was previous to that. But there was no.
Yeah. The question was based on my question. How can Judge Diener seal the PCA when Richard Allen was first arrested? They filed that PCA under seal, and then I'm just wondering if he can seal the PCA, how can we say that the crime scene photos and nothing else was sealed? So it was
the crime scene photos weren't in the PCA.
No, I realize that, but they were part of the case. So
right.
My thing is, okay, so we file the PCA, but we seal it, but we're not sealing crime scene photos or any other information. I'm just wondering if it why that it wasn't sealed, and then being able to disseminate it from probably since day one. If you look at some of the pictures we've seen, or
well, yeah, I mean, that's a valid point. But when the PCA was sealed, I mean, they were sealing one document in regards to this case. It didn't have anything to do with anything else in this case. It wasn't until the gag order and protective order were signed, which might have been a year ago today, actually, now that I think about it. I'd have to go back and look. That all of the discovery, and it's important also to read the way the gag order and protective order were written, because each gag order and protective order cover things specifically for the way they're written. I'm sorry. I'm not, and I agree with you 100%, Charmaine.
And there was
my own question. I'm sorry. I wish I could say that.
And with taking, say, Richard Allen's name, does anyone believe that the person or persons responsible would have done it again? Let's just leave it at that. And sorry, lead with love. If I mean, because like I said, unless you're a creator and deal with people that have the information and stuff like that, I'm not going to sit there and edit photos. And I'm sorry if it does bug you, but we're not out here to put out factual antlers that aren't there on a photo. And if somebody doesn't believe that, that's neither here nor there, really. At the end of the day, it will come out in the court of law, those photos regardless. So yeah, people can toy with edited photos and stuff like that. Why would somebody take off the antlers, though? Why would somebody do that? That doesn't make sense. So that's to answer that question.
Yes, Travis, he did seal the PCA, but none of the crime scene photos or anything else. So I'm just wondering how that happens. I don't know. It's just weird to me.
$1,000 billion%, absolutely. Bottom line is, if someone took off the antlers, that wouldn't really go with the whole Odinism thing, though, would it? To be honest with you, it doesn't make sense. But like as always, Reed, that you have your opinion, I have mine, but I'm not trying to convince anyone. Someone wants to believe that there is and stuff like that, then they can go right ahead.
My whole thing about that is that so I think no matter what you think about the memo, we can all agree that it was time consuming. They put a lot of work and thought into it. They just did. Nobody can argue that. So if they're going to spend that kind of time knowing that they're going to have to fight or prove everything that's in there in front of a jury, why would they lie about something so plainly disproven as sticks made to look like antlers? I'm not saying
Elvis.
sticks that look like antlers. I'm not saying that. No, Ivy, I'm talking about when you look at the pictures, the defense has to have seen something that they are confident in standing in front of a jury to say, this is what we're talking about when we're saying antlers. To say there's nothing there, I don't think so. I just don't think so. There has to be something there that the defense would be comfortable going in front of a jury saying, okay, people are saying these are not antlers, we're saying they are.
No, they're twigs. Like that's
that's just it.
Sunny showed like the little like strip up there. There are twigs there, but even the way they write it, it's not written in a way. Hold on. It's not like a state. Well, hold on.
Well, when they said that the person used fingers or used a utensil, that's just guesswork. So why would somebody say though, Charlotte? Well, either they used a finger or used some sort of utensil, on the F tree and stuff like that. Like, they don't know how it got there, but they're definitely, saying that the person that took their lives went over to the tree after laid all the sticks and either used the finger or a utensil. I think there's a huge difference between someone using a finger and someone using a utensil, but that's not factual. I just think that in their head, maybe they somehow see some sort of, because of the sticks, maybe they somehow see an antler formation of some sort.
That's my point. That's my
like.
So there are other creators going on there saying there's nothing there. It's a complete lie, and that to me is irresponsible misinformation.
Here's what they say, and I will say that, I'm pretty like open. All right, at least I feel like I'm pretty open to even stuff that doesn't match, my theory. But as soon as I read this, when I originally read the Franks, that specific part, I was like, yeah, they're twisting that into something it's not, solely based on the wording. So there's two parts. The first part is, it says, above Abby's head were smaller sticks that had been placed over her hair, crudely mimicking horns or antlers. And then there's a second part a little bit later that says, find attached a close-up photograph of Abby's head from the crime scene, which is one of the pictures that was leaked. From a distance, it may not be immediately noticeable. However, upon closer inspection, it is obvious that someone involved in the killings intentionally placed small sticks from a tree on top of Abby's hair to resemble horns or antlers. The horns formed from sticks look similar to blah, blah, blah. But the part where it says, from a distance, it may not be immediately noticeable, but if you really look.
And I think that they really had to look, because there definitely is.
Did you watch the end? Were you up last night when Sunny showed it?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Repeat the question. I'm sorry. I'm answering
Were you up late last night when Sunny showed the little strip?
No, I went to sleep.
Watch the end of Sunny's live last night.
So bottom line is to me, like, and again, my opinion, there is a twig on the hair, and it's just like a long piece of twig. Did somebody intentionally put that there? Looks like it.
I'll be right back.
Does it
It's
look
more
like it's
horizontal too,
a
isn't it?
horn, or
Not
does
looking
it
down.
look like these little feelers are coming out? No, there's twigs that are on the ground, but nothing would ever propel me to ever say anything looked like Rudolph antlers, kind of like what TCD is trying to depict in there.
But
So
placed there after the fact because they're on top of
they're on
that.
top. So it almost reminds me of when somebody grabs a handful of leaves and some twigs and it's kind of like thrown there. But there's no formation that I see of anything that's going like, here's a stick, and here's some little sticks that come off of it. It's just literally a stick that's about, that bends, that kind of crosses over the hair. So that would have to be after because it's on top of the ponytail at the back. So it goes over. And then it's just, like I said, it sticks and leaves on the ground after that. But if they saw or they wanted to believe that they saw what looked like antlers or something like that, then so be it. If that is the perception that they walked away with, the photos will be seen and that will be presented in court at the end of the day, and the jury will see that stuff. So
Right.
at the end of the day, right, meaning, it's just like I said, like the defense regardless, okay? Like I said, that whole 136 page, like there's a ton of shit in there that's just guesswork with the actual information. Like that whole timeline of exactly what happened, where did they get that from? Like part of it I can understand that they got some stuff from the discovery from the prosecutors, but they literally sat there and went, and then that one person would have to walk back over and then place this stick and that stick, and they screwed up royally when they started off calling an Odin an F tree, which had no relevance to an Odin whatsoever. I mean, they screwed up that right there. They just, to me, lost any sort of credibility when they don't even know what Hill Olden would look like. And but again, it's their perception that they want to put out there, but a lot of it isn't factual
But
because
they're comfortable standing in front of a jury arguing
correct,
that it is.
absolutely, absolutely, of course, that would meaning that's their whole going to be their whole defense line. So they're going to try to get the jurors to see what they're seeing. Absolutely. But then, of course, people have eyes and can see the stuff for themselves and use their brains to obviously, right? We know that the jurors would then decide if there was enough evidence or if they believed it whatsoever. And if they do believe it, that this whole Odinism line, well, then have a good day. Richard Allen walks free in a sense, right? But so, yeah, I mean, to me, it's all about perception, a lot of that 136. And if somebody wants to perceive antlers on there, then so be it, you know?
And I
So,
mean, I think to me, the idea is absolutely asinine, but there are two sticks there that somebody who sees it differently can say, oh, there's the antlers. I get it. Right?
I'll say that
yeah,
I don't see how there are definitely sticks above her head, and maybe like 1.5 at most, I would think, if I remember correctly, were on top of her hair. But I don't see how anybody could honestly say, like being intellectually honest, that they look anything like horns or antlers at all.
Well, it
If you
says
went and, if you went and
resembling.
like surveyed 100 people randomly, I don't think you'd get
I'm pretty
many.
confident if like, just by that, if I say there isn't and you say there isn't, say Ivy, and Adam says there's not, and whatever, I mean, I think we're clear on the fact that there's nothing that stands out as being that formation. If they found something that they saw, again, their perception. But to the eye, to anyone seeing those pictures, you would have to create those antler things in your head a little bit and go, oh wait, there's a twig that fell this way that looks like it could be an antler. That's how, to me, it is. But hey, like Charmaine said, they're the ones that are going to have to stand up there. Well, maybe not now because they got new lawyers for now, but are going to have to stand up there and then show the jury the whole sticks and what they're trying to prove, and to the Odinism stuff, and they're going to miserably fail on that. And then they're going to have to try to show the antlers, because those runes, those aren't runes. Like, there's nothing to Odinism about that.
They might miserably fail in our opinion, but look at the masses that are following that narrative, Sonny. They need to find 12. So,
yeah. Right.
Look at OJ. Look at Casey Anthony. Like,
OJ case was a freaking joke. Yeah. At the end of the day, like, we can talk all the talk we want. At the end of the day, we're not the judge and jury here. The judge and jury will happen in maybe next 2 years, perhaps. Who knows?
I don't know.
You want to hear something I don't like to admit out loud?
Okay, say it.
I think there could be a chance that OJ didn't do it.
Oh,
But when I say that, I think if he didn't do it, it was his son who did it, and he was covering up for him. So still,
go wait in the car. Go on.
Talking to you, Ivy. Go wait in the car now. Go sit in the naughty corner.
Anytime anybody says that, it always makes them sound crazy. But I'll take it.
He basically confessed in his book, man.
Well, and I'm not saying I believe this 100%. It wouldn't surprise me if he did do it, but I think that there's still a decent chance that his son could have done it, and he was covering for him. Yeah, Jason Simpson.
Wait, are you joking with us? Or are you being truthful?
Being serious, man.
Jason did it. Is it Jason from Halloween? The movies, like Jason Meyer?
Yeah, Jason Simpson. That's his name.
Okay, so I was asking actually if you were joking about the whole sun line, or if actually.
No, it's a legitimate thing.
Ooh, yeah.
There was hair found, and I'll send you some stuffs.
I have to say quickly, just out of respect for chaotic beauty.
Oh yeah. What's up?
You just said Jason Myers, and you just combined two different horror movie villains. It would have been Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers, but not.
That's it, Michael Myers.
Oh, my brain didn't comprehend what she said.
Why did I have Jason? I don't know. You're right. If it's true that Richard, let's just see this. Okay, and we're gonna get going right quick here. If it's true that Richard has anyone took something from the scene we might be dealing with. If it's true that Richard or anyone took something from the scene we might be dealing with, SK may be possible. Guess your guess is as good as ours on this one. It's hard to believe that a 45-year-old guy decides to come out of freaking his home, race on down to that bridge and whatever. But hey, anything's possible, to be honest with you. And do I think the person would do it again? I don't know. I can't still believe that Richard Allen would do this in the first place. Not saying that.
Tommy, can you hear me?
Look at that. Hype. Tommy.
Hype super chat. $3.
Thank you, Hype.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. And that you guys know that message. Yeah, and that message goes out for Tom Webster. That's why it says Tommy. Yeah.
Why is it that you can't see Richard Allen doing it? What is it about him?
I can't see a 45-year-old guy with no criminal record, and they haven't shown us anything so far from the prosecution that this guy would blatantly park his car beside a vehicle way far from the trails, then decide to walk in front of people so that he can be seen, and then decide to take two girls and then do all this stick work and stuff like that when there's no past. And the thing is, there's no social media really on the dude, so I can't see this little 5-foot dwarf, sorry, I want to call him a gnome, I should say, doing it. It seems odd about that. Like, I can understand if we're looking at somebody that had this past to them, but we're not seeing anything, but we are seeing the fact that he acknowledged being there. You know, it's just I have a hard time. I can see the Paladinos doing it, Garrett Kurtz, and everybody, but and then Richard Allen pops up, and you're
But
just
remember,
like,
Sonny,
what?
we don't know all the evidence that they may have.
No, I
You
know. Yeah, I know. I get that. I get that. I just have a hard time in my head. It's not to say he's not the person on the bridge. I just have a hard time in my head trying to understand that somebody, this little 5'4" guy, goes out in broad daylight, decides at 45. You know, unless he did something before and we don't know, and just never got caught for it.
And
But then he would have
44.
been in the system, you know. What? 44?
44.
44 years old? You talking about age?
Richard Allen, he was 44 on February 13th, 2017.
6 years.
He turned 40. He turned 45 on September 9th of 2017.
Yeah, that one it was. So let's
Yeah.
say 44. Okay, well, tomato. But it's that I just can't see that someone was this freaking ass stupid, you know, to do this in broad daylight, go past people, has no criminal record. He does not make sense to me. Not that it's not him. He just doesn't make sense to me. So,
Right.
like, so as for the evidence, we all know, we're all waiting to see what evidence prosecutors have. We know that he's admitted being there, that he admitted wearing like the same freaking clothes. We know that, you know, like that stuff. Okay, dude, you literally confessed
And
to your wife and,
killing the girls.
you know, and stuff like that. I just can't wrap my brain around it until I see I want to know the story about why this would have happened from somebody.
I want to hear the tape where he, you know, admitted to it to his wife. That's what I want to hear.
Sure. Well, yeah, that too. I want to hear it all. We all want to know what evidence. You know, people keep talking about the motorcycle cover and stuff like that, and we'll see if that comes to fruition or not. But who knows? That's just a matter of time, and you know, we got all the time right now because it's at least a year out for sure right now.
In a year.
You know, so I don't know. I mean, let me put it this way. Not that it will happen, but sometimes in a bad thing, they becomes a good thing. So I'm kind of hoping that because these pictures got leaked, maybe there's someone that maybe can go, oh, yeah, that looks like this or that or something, you know, that maybe understands if those sticks mean anything whatsoever. I don't think they do, but that doesn't make it true now, does it? Like I said, who knows what people do? I don't know.
Reminds me, I was watching, I watched a few of like the really older news videos from like the day they were missing, the day after, like really old ones. And one of them I came across that wasn't quite as old, but still pretty old, was from John Douglas. And one of the, I can't remember exactly what question they asked him, but his answer was, I think they might have asked him, like, what would you have done differently or something like that? And he said they should have shared more information.
Yeah, 100% he did. And
he just said it like blatantly, which,
yeah. Exactly. I am the biggest John Douglas like fangirl stalker, and that's exactly what he said. And
unfortunately, like, everybody makes mistakes. They're not, I don't think they're trained adequately because that's just not something they really deal with. But the part that bothers me, and this is just conjecture on my part, I don't think if this were to happen again, I don't think they would do it differently today.
It's really hard to keep a secret when more than one person knows those stuff. That's where I struggle.
Yes,
especially
right.
At this point, he's been in prison for so long, and I can say prison. He's been in Westville for so long. It's really hard to keep a secret when more than one person knows about it.
Absolutely.
And it's hard enough to keep
one
person's DNA. Thank you, Sonny. It's hard enough to keep one person's DNA from showing up at a crime scene, let alone two or let alone five.
You know.
But they did, and it doesn't matter if we're talking about, you know, Richard Allen himself or Richard Allen and somebody else. Like, it's it's unbelievable to me that there's no footprints there. There's no DNA. There's nothing that we
Right.
know.
No, we don't know.
Do
You
you guys
know-
think that they did it because they knew how to do it, or when I say they, I mean just like not multiple generic
Yeah.
thing, or do you think it was luck that like
Probably
DNA
combination.
fingerprints? I think it was
Which
mostly luck.
profiler, Travis?
It was luck, and it was also, to me, it has a huge part in those dogs being called off. Those dogs could have tracked. They could have found other evidence. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it.
Absolutely.
That there was the misstep that caused, well,
They had dogs come in after they were found, though. I'm pretty sure. I just saw in one of those videos. I saw there was dogs.
Yeah. But by that time, like the crime scene, I think was like, too many people, I think.
Oh my gosh, you just rang a bell in my head. One of them I watched, I couldn't believe it was on the I can't remember if it was the one I sent you, but it was that same guy, that Van Wyck guy or whatever. Was it Van
yeah.
Wyck?
Yeah.
And I think it was on the 16th or 17th. He said that the news people were allowed to go around there walking around the day before, but that day the police were back, so they couldn't. What in the
Right.
what?
I know. Right. Right. But then again, right. Because I know exactly what you're saying there, Ivy, too. And it's just like,
It blew my mind.
when they were doing that search and stuff on the 13th, like nobody knew that they were looking for two girls that had been murdered on that. But yeah, I don't know.
That was afterwards, though.
I know. And
that's
it
my
was,
through. Yeah.
go ahead, Charmaine.
No, that's my point, sees through. That's exactly what I was saying.
I read that there were footprints that lead the searchers to the body, and we know that by the scanner audio. Oh, right. Didn't you send me that? The scanner audio had footprints. He wanted the dogs to track, but they canceled the dogs. Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that part.
Oh, hurry. Like, really? You flipping idiot.
If
But-
anybody has that article or a screenshot of that article, please send it to me with the footprints. Or there was
I
a
remember
article early
that.
on with footprints. Well, I don't know if it says footprints or prints or tracks.
Boot print. Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
I have it, Ivy, but it would take me until next October to find. But I'll try.
Sir, I love the new function on iPhones where you can search the pictures. It's been around for a little bit, but now it does words.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
you can search words.
Yes,
On a-
it's great. So like
Oh,
search tracks and see what comes up.
Okay.
Lead. I only trust photos with the actual meta entered into evidence.
That's smart. Lead with love.
Mhm.
But sometimes like like a screenshot of a picture, then is going to distort it. So, but sometimes you can find really interesting things in the metadata. Absolutely. So
I unfortunately
that's
believe
smart.
everything I'm told.
What, Charmaine?
I said I unfortunately believe everything I'm told when I'm told it, and then I freak out.
Well, there is one sucker born every minute.
Well, hey,
It's me.
Sharp. I think that you're my favorite Canadian.
Shut up.
Oh my gosh, that's a deadly game you're playing there.
Isn't it? Right?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
You're not my favorite American.
well, I already knew that. We know his name's Keegan.
I could buy him. Yeah.
Gosh, you are spicy today. You're looking for a fight.
I do the same thing though, Tremaine, and I know I don't know if I assume people will notice, so these two can probably vouch for this, that I'll read something or I'll watch something, I'll get really excited and like believe it before my brain can process it, and then I'll put it in the chat, and then like 5 or 10 minutes later I'll be like, never mind, I don't believe that. But it takes me a little bit to like process it all.
Somebody has to just question me on it, like 2 or 3 questions, and I'm like, all right, yeah, never mind. We're good. But that's way after I freaked out and, flipped chairs and stuff. Just.
Chevy says the only DNA that was recovered that matches was Kelsey German's. The secondary DNA is too contaminated. Adam, where did we hear that before about Kelsey Germans? Was it from the hoodie?
Yeah, I think so.
Something.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Is that the
I
one
don't
from the
remember if that
shoulder?
was.
Okay, I'm done looking at my phone.
Yeah, we heard it. I just don't know about how factual that one was.
And I mean, Kelsey's DNA being on either one of those girls that day is totally explainable. And
Right.
Well, those are her two sweaters too.
I mean, that's just adding to the rumor mill. I don't like
Yeah,
On
she
that.
literally handed it to her. I mean,
Yeah, like both of those sweaters were Kelsey's, confirmed by Becky. That Kelsey handed them each of us, and Libby got the black one, obviously, and Abby got the gray one. So definitely her DNA would be there for sure. Absolutely. And Steph, stop lying to me. Stop lying right now.
She said
You know-
on second. Shut up.
Yeah.
Do I not
Adam,
blink
do you ever
enough?
blink?
Do I not blink?
I think he blinks,
Wait.
especially. Yeah. He definitely does eye rolls too. I'll tell you that much. Adam's very facially expressive. I
I
am
literally
too.
just gotta. I'm very animated. It's hard for me to
Yeah.
hide my expressions.
Okay.
But I literally
Well-
just got a message that said, "Stop looking at your phone and pay attention to Charmaine."
Adam's always said, scroll.
So I'm wondering, so is it weird to anybody that there was no footprints found? Or was there footprints found? I shouldn't say it like that, but it's bizarre because I live in the same type of area, and in February with the snow melting and stuff, even with leaves and stuff, there's footprints. Like I can't go
Especially
anywhere
on
in mud.
especially on a day that the temperature's warmer than normal. The ground is going to thaw enough that you would assume that even if there was we know that the water was muddy from melting snow. So you would assume that if the temperature was a little bit warmer, that the ground would be soft enough to have left some sort of impression in from.
There had to have been footprints.
But and so I'm like I was talking about the footprints article. I know what she's talking about, and I have it somewhere.
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and find it. I just don't know if it's a screenshot or if I actually have the article somewhere. If it's still there.
it reminds me of, well, for one, there's like the leaf cover, but it also reminds me of two things. The one where Kelsey said over by the bridge, I think the down the hill part of the bridge, that there was like a slide area that she noticed, but at the time didn't mean anything to her. And then the other thing is, and I don't have any evidence to back this up, but I've heard that police put those like little blue flags on a trail going out, following the way that they thought he left. So if that's true, that could have been like maybe not footprints they could use, but like how you track like animals or whatever, you see somebody's went through a path, So maybe they could see that, but there wasn't enough there for like shoe prints.
See through. Do you have that article? If you could send it to Sunny or I, we'd appreciate it.
WRT, Katie Fox, and I don't know where you, Chevy. I don't know where you're getting that information from, to be honest with you.
No, it's not.
I think he's talking about the sweatshirt or the sweatpants and the jeans.
Well, they lied about Libby was wearing why missing the items were the items missing were a jacket and jeans. I'm going to go with the affidavit on that one and say the undergarment sock, like they said. I mean,
Didn't Becky say to you personally, Sonny, that that they thought Libby had been wearing sweatpants, and they found out much later that she was wearing jeans?
Correct.
We remembered later that she was actually changed right before they left the house into jeans, and Becky didn't see them as they were leaving. And
But
Becky said the description. So I mean,
yeah,
it wasn't a lie.
I think the thing there, like what there is that when you're looking at the water pictures, that second item,
Yes.
that second item has to be either a jacket, because you can tell, when somebody pockets a shirt and then gives that little round pocket, So it either has to be that, or if you say pull jeans inside out, but I think it's more that it's probably the sweatshirt, if more likely. But I think it's because, like, even in the crime scene photos, you don't really see that I know of a secondary pair of jeans that's in. But that doesn't mean that they're not somewhere. It just means in the crime scene photos that are out there, you can clearly see jeans that they're saying are Libby's on Abby. Um, where
They
say
are.
Abby's jeans are. Pardon? What'd you say?
I just said they are.
Well,
Libby's jeans.
well, from the defense, what they said, and I can't see why they would not know that answer, because obviously Libby's jeans would be a heck of a lot bigger, so they would know if they were Libby's. So kind of like anything, right? You're saying about the antlers. Well, they must, like, they'd have to stand up. Well, same thing about the pants to me, same idea. So I'm going to agree that there probably are Libby's, and even though it seems strange to me, but yet in the water pictures we don't see jeans either. So I could kind of see where that's being said. All I know is wherever the truth lies, hopefully we see it one day in court too,
Right.
so that we can understand what happened
Mhm.
and everything that goes with it.
Deb,
And picture, you know.
Deb says, "What is at the bottom of the stack of clothes in the water? It looks like dark clothing of some sort." Yeah, and
Well,
I think that's either, like Sunny said, the sweatshirt or um
it's
or inside out denim.
right. It's.
So,
I mean,
but you can,
definitely
I
Libby shirts there. Then there's the secondary item. Then there's the Nike shoe. Then there's
Yeah.
that one item that people were saying, "Oh, it's an undergarment. Oh, it's this."
But- yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, to me, I have no reason not to believe the Ron Logan search warrant where they talked about the sock and underwear, because
Correct.
really, which items of clothing are inconsequential. So, I mean, it'd be interesting to know, but it doesn't make or break the case, in my opinion. You know, to know which items of clothing are in the water.
The secondary item is light. The secondary item is what looks like it's light, but then in the water part, it looks darker. So it's an item that's been turned to me inside out, but there's clearly a cut corner on that article, so it couldn't be an undergarment. It has to be something of thicker value in order, like, you know, like how a purse, like, let's take a purse flap, right? Because at first I was thinking, well, maybe it's like some sort of knapsack that one of the girls had on, but there's definitely that straight line that you can see is a fold of some sort. So jeans could have that, I guess, and so could a hoodie. You
I
know,
was,
zipper.
I think maybe we were talking about different things. I was talking about the thing that people kept saying might be underwear, but was like way too big to be underwear. I'm saying, is that what you're
That's the
talking about?
I'm talking about the secondary item out of the three. Yes, the one that's in the middle that
It's
everyone's
like a light
guessing.
grayish color.
The light grayish color. Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's Abby's jacket. And then
I do too, but I'm not gonna. I would never bet my life on it. I'm just.
yeah,
But it seems.
I mean that would make most sense. Chevy Killer said 3 Nike shoes, but I don't think that is the case. That doesn't make, I mean, from my understanding, people are making the shoe that Kelsey talks about in her story and the shoe in the creek 2 separate shoes, when
Same.
I'm pretty sure they're the same shoe. I mean, she talks about them being the people yelling up from by the creek or in the creek, even, I think, at some point.
Yeah, I feel like too, because hold on a second. What was underneath Abby? They said was a phone and a shoe. Libby's shoe was underneath Abby's butt side, and so I think
Now, I
too
want to say the
that's
prosecution said
Pardon?
the phone was under Libby, so that's kind of a discrepancy.
Yeah.
It was underneath Abby.
Oh yeah.
Underneath Abby was Libby's phone and Libby's shoe. That was underneath Abby. You can go fact check that.
Yeah, and I just, you know, I don't. They might have just been incorrect.
That's what that was in the memorandum.
Oh, I know.
Right, exactly.
Um,
So if we went by the memorandum, that's what it's saying.
I know that Charmaine has to get to bed.
Oh, okay. I never look
No,
at
I
that
said
thing.
that's Charmaine.
Oh, okay. You know what? It's okay. We're gonna end the live anyway. We've been going long enough, 3 hours. Yeah, that's good,
Right.
guys. Eh?
I do want to say really quickly to seize through. Thank you for sending that article. You found it so quickly. I appreciate it.
Oh, did you get it? Thanks, Caesar.
Yeah.
Thanks, you guys. Anyways, so we're gonna leave it at that. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Hike, and thank you, Charmaine, and thank you, Deb, for your memberships and your super chats. Happy Thanksgiving to our fellow Americans from Canada. So you guys have a great Cluck Cluck day tomorrow, and we'll go live at some point tomorrow just to chill and just be a chill one type of idea.
If she loves me, she'll wait till I get done with Thanksgiving dinner.
As if I loved you. That's the big word right there. If I love you, you got Lacey's love. You don't need mine, buddy. You don't need mine. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, and Alexa, she says if Alexa has a bad ear infection going on, so hence it's making her feel dizzy and not well, and so she had gotten medication, but it wasn't quite working, so she went back to the doctor. So she's saying Friday for Rex Huerman, but just so you guys know that, okay? So that's so
miserable.
Alexa's just trying to get over an ear infection going on. Plus, she's been burnt out as well, right? Go, 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 go. And you guys all know in the United States, you guys got your Thanksgiving and then go, go, go. Then you guys got Christmas right around the corner.
Right.
So you guys take care. Travis, thank you as well for always being kind and giving people the answers to what they're looking for when they ask you and for coming on the lives and stuff like that. And we'll see what other documents come out, I guess, in the very near future again. 27th. Go ahead.
I would say good for the week, right? I mean, nothing's going to come out tomorrow, and I would be doubtful on Friday, but
you
never know.
Yeah. Anyways,
but everyone have a happy Thanksgiving tomorrow.
Yeah.
And for you Canadians up there, just be glad we never came for you.
I'm just gonna have ketchup chips and hickory sticks or something in honor of you. Anyways, did anyone want to say one last thing before we get going? Anybody?
No,
Anybody at all? Or you didn't want to say you love Deb, Ivy?
I did not.
Okay, perfect then. All right.
I'll say I love Deb. I do.
I love Deb more than Steffa. Steffa lied to me. She says that she loves everybody. I think what she said, Steffa, the other day was, I'm pretty sure I love Eye of Aesopus or whatever his name is. Remember? Did you hear that? I heard that. Shocker value. I know. I heard that. I got it recorded and everything. But anyways, just teasing you guys. You guys have a great one. Take care. And thanks for joining us tonight on the live. And we're out of here.
Bye.
This is Sunny Justice and Aspen Connor from It's a Crime and Shame, wishing you all a good night.